and we stayed till like 7 in the morning just to get out. Oh my, like it was so the walk there, it was so brutal to the point that like I had to carry some of my friends' bags because they were just too burnt out.
Yeah, I remember that night because I took the Premier Shuttle last year.
Yeah,
we were getting dropped off, walking back to the hotel, and this was maybe like 7 to 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was texting Yikern, and he was like, "Hey, we just made it out of the parking lot."
Yeah, pretty much. But you have to punch through.
Yep. And that's always been my experience. Like, especially at circuit grounds, if you're at the back and you see it's really crowded, you'll think, "Oh, I can't make it anymore." Yeah. If you just keep pushing through, if you're in the center or even to the sides, there's a lot of space in circuit grounds.
Yeah, you just have to keep pushing through. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Back and Body Hurts podcast. We talk about all things EDM. Today is a very special EDC episode. We're going to talk about one of the big flagships of international festivals because we are Canadian. I just want to introduce a little bit on the hosts. I'm today your host, Yikern. To my right here is Sonny.
Hey, everyone.
And then to the right of Sonny is Jason.
Hey, guys.
And the far end of the table is Christine.
Hi. And
we have recently acquired a fifth mic, so Benny is off screen right now.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. So just a little bit about our special guest here. He's been raving for how many years now?
Probably since 2017, actually.
Wow. So, 2017.
Yeah. 7 years.
Yeah. I think he raved much earlier than that.
But yeah.
Low key.
Past my 10-year anniversary.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what made you get into raving? Is EDC your first big international rave?
Yeah, definitely. I think growing up, always really liked EDM. Never really dabbled in going to raves or festivals until 2017. Met some people, decided to just go. And I think actually my first festival was just Veld.
Veld, yeah.
We're talking about that's like everyone's first local one.
A lot of people's first entryways into festivals, and it's also pretty easy to get to, and fell in love with it afterwards. And then the next year, some of my buddies said, "Hey, we're gonna go to EDC. We should just go." And I was like, "All right, full send."
Yeah. So you kind of I also followed the same footsteps. Like the first year I got into EDM, which I went to Veld, and then I immediately jumped into EDC. 8 months later.
Yep.
It's one of those festivals, as with the premier ones we talk about, Tomorrowland, Ultra. Even if you're a casual EDM fan, you know about them. Everyone knows about EDC. And we're talking about EDC Las Vegas for those of you, everyone listening.
Yeah. It's like the OG one.
It is the
one
flagship
of the big
OG ones.
Yeah, sure.
It's one of the four
what we consider the big four.
I think it used to be in LA.
It did used to be in LA. So
LA.
people who have been to EDC like 10 plus years,
like
they have
2010?
they have stubs of their EDC LA ticket. And then obviously it moved to Vegas, and the city embraces it. So I think that's where it's home permanently. Is that one of the biggest now with F1 there though, but I think it was like the biggest weekend for Las Vegas in general.
They kind of made it a disaster now with the F1 thing.
They did. Last year was kind of a mess because they had to pave it. I think this year will be better because they don't need to do anything. But F1 was just glitz and glamour. So now that's probably the biggest of the year. But EDC is like second. Like everyone embraces EDC. It's big for the city.
Yeah. So this episode is a little bit more visual. We have a lot of merch here from EDC, the packages that you receive when buying your pass, stuff that is inside the packages, and then we brought some other merch that we want to give away, and also we are wearing a little bit more of rave gear.
Wait, this isn't an EDC when Why We Love Seven Lions episode?
You know what? I have not seen Seven Lions.
No?
But I'm wearing Seven Lions.
Everyone's wearing Seven Lions.
Poser.
Isn't that the second topic we're talking about?
EDC?
Yeah. Thanks to Sonny, I have a Seven Lions jersey. Yeah. The only
coordination on outfits.
Yeah.
We got it right.
Yeah, we got it right this time. So what is EDC? EDC is short for Electric Daisy Carnival, and it is in Las Vegas. A little bit of a history on EDC. It did move from June to May. Yeah. Why is that?
And I think that's when you first started, Jason.
Yep. Yeah.
So they moved, and Christine too.
Yeah.
Everyone, it worked out for Canadians because we get an extra holiday. because it falls on our Victoria Day long weekend. So that's one vacation day saved. And if you're a crackhead raver like all of us, every day matters.
Every day counts.
Every
day counts.
Every EDC Vegas I've been to means 1 year of missing my parents' anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
So, yeah, I get flamed for that, but
So a lot of Canadians go, but what happened is it's always used to be in June. Weather is in Vegas is like people, you kind of do want to rave in a little bit of heat, but what happened was there was an extreme heat wave the one June year where it was like 110 degrees Fahrenheit, and also it translates to 40 degrees
40
Celsius.
something, yeah.
And people were passing out. There was reported deaths. Like, it's just with how intense EDC is. When it's 110 degrees at 1
There's
a.m.
no shade there too.
and it's in the middle of the night. Like, it's
Yeah.
just pure heat. Like, it's so much on the body. So they made the call to move it to May in 2018, and since then it's always been May.
May.
It's interesting how they didn't choose, was it Memorial Day weekend? Because it's the week after. It's a long weekend.
I don't know the full reasons why. There might
Yeah.
just be something else going on in the city where
Yeah.
they can't.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
movement is.
Well, I wouldn't. I it's all the way on the other side of the city, so I wouldn't really consider movement as like an effect. It's just how it is.
But imagine like at 1 a.m. it's still 40 degrees. Imagine just getting there at 7 p.m. or around.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, with the sun was exactly if the
Yeah.
sun's out, it's even worse, right?
Yeah.
It could be like 120 degrees. So it was a good call for them to make it. We'll talk a bit more of that because there were some interesting developments in some May. I know 2018 May was probably the best in terms of weather. Everyone
think
says.
so.
Yes.
But 2019 and 2022 had something called Winds of EDC. Which,
Yeah, I was freezing.
Yeah, people were freezing.
Yeah,
We'll-
you needed a winter jacket
Yeah.
for those nights.
it was so bad too because it's like if you didn't come prepared, you had like, as we'll talk about Benny's
Yeah.
merch story.
Yeah.
But like you were literally freezing.
Everyone was went to the med tent and just got thermal blankets. Everyone.
wow.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. So
So we'll start off with flying to Vegas.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So flying to Vegas. If you book it early, it's relatively cheap. But if you want to book it last minute, like probably a month before, it goes up to like $800 from Toronto.
You will most likely have to do a connecting flight if you do
Yeah.
that in order to get it cheaper. It gets pretty pricey. I know for this EDC, I booked it last July. Like, I literally committed to EDC last year. Like, that's like just how the ticket thing works. Honestly, nowadays when they drop the tickets, they literally sells out like that weekend.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember last year, a week after they posted this year's tickets, and we bought it then. So
Yeah.
It's exactly like I
Yeah.
bought it literally the
I
May
think-
weekend.
I think for every big festival, like last week we talked about Ultra, you should buy it like right
Almost,
after.
right after.
Ultra
yeah.
is a little bit weird because Ultra I found over the years never really sold out until closer to the date. EDC, Tomorrowland are like just
Always, yeah.
just
always
like literally right
instantly.
away.
So, do you remember flight tickets your first year, like in 2018? How do you remember how much they were?
yeah, I think in 2018
They
we
were
still
cheaper.
yeah it was
They
a
were
lot
cheap.
cheaper, and I bought it a bit late, so it was probably around 500 Canadian.
Mine was 400.
I remember.
Yeah.
I think the cheat code for if you get expensive ticket to fly straight to Vegas, you can always fly to Los Angeles and take the bus from there.
That's true.
Well,
Yeah.
people drive there. Like,
Yeah.
it's like if okay, I don't recommend speeding, but most people I've heard speed 3 hours drive. Yeah, 3-4 hours.
Yeah,
you
but-
can do it.
You can do it in 3 hours, but I think recommended is like 4 to 5 because that's what I did.
To touch upon this too, it's one of the like, as we talk about with Ultra, it's one of those festivals where the closer you, if you don't commit early, you're just gonna have to pay the premium to commit late.
Yeah.
Like, I have friends who are now joining who bought their flight like 2 weeks ago.
Well, that's the price of indecisiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to be honest, you can get tickets closer for hopefully costs, so that's never a problem. You just have to do a bit more searching. The bigger problem is shuttles, which we'll get into later when we talk about shuttles. But yeah, so optimal days for flying. I find most people make it a little bit of a weekend, like a longer trip. So a lot of times I fly, like I personally fly on Wednesday, and then leave either Monday or Tuesday, depending on how much, like, I don't know. Sometimes I find I don't want to linger around in Vegas for an extra day because, let's be honest, you're pretty fried by the end of it.
And,
So
and the more time spent in Vegas means more money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like I'd rather just go home and like die essentially for like a couple days, then stay in Vegas.
Yeah.
What about you, Jason?
Yep, I'm doing the same thing. So flying in Wednesday and then flying back Tuesday night. So the flight Tuesday night's actually the red eye. So we'll come back Wednesday morning to Toronto.
See, we're doing the Tuesday midday, so at least we're gonna stay. I honestly did the 1 year where I did red eye on Monday, and I actually did like that.
What's red eye?
Red eye is when you fly overnight and you land in your destination in the morning.
Oh, okay.
So you leave because of the time difference. You board Vegas flight at like 11 p.m. and then you arrive because 3 hour difference at like 7 a.m.
Yep,
Toronto
that's
time.
right.
Yeah.
So technically you arrive 4 a.m. in the morning in your previous time zone.
I think so I'm Wednesday and then Monday night, so then it's like about the same. Like if you think about it, the Thursday or Friday flights are a lot. Like Thursday is okay, but flying in on Friday is significantly more expensive, and for the days you're spending more on flights, you might as well just stay in Vegas a little longer for the same price.
Yeah, like honestly, Vegas. We'll talk a lot more about hotels. Vegas pricing isn't that bad for like the non-EDC days. Like if you book it on a Wednesday, it can get like you can get the rooms for like even at Luxor for like 40 Canadian.
The hotel,
Really?
like if you have like perks and stuff too, you can get it for pretty cheap.
the hotel I'm staying at, it's probably like 300 Canadian the EDC Saturday night, but if you look at it like 2 weeks before the same night, it's like $50. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so for everyone, I think the consensus is like you want to try to fly in either Wednesday or Thursday, I would say, for people, because goes to the other points. It depends on what you have to do. If you want to do a pool party,
Yeah, pre-parties.
Yeah.
Some of the pre-parties are good.
And it's the whole week of prior to EDC. There's also like a EDC music week.
yeah, and
right?
it essentially starts Wednesday, is what I
Yeah.
find.
Yeah, I've like usually when I have the time and means to, I fly to LA first, and then you take like a Spirit flight for like $70 Canadian, or 100, and then you fly there. I've flown there on like a Monday or Tuesday, and then I just spend the whole week like going to like clubs like Omnia, Hakkasan, like or like the EDC pre-parties, and then the pool parties, and then you lead into EDC.
Another good thing people do for that one is apparently if you're gonna do RV for Camp EDC, you want to fly to a lot of times the Las Vegas ones are overpriced. So I know people who fly to Los Angeles and rent an RV there and then drive it up, which is also another good strategy for people who do camp. So I think we're in consensus that you really, and one thing I want to touch upon, you don't want to fly 9 a.m. Monday morning. You just don't.
There's a lot of horror stories.
Just don't. Like I know people who have done it. The amount of pain you go through to make that flight is just too much.
Because the festival ends at like 5 a.m.
7
a.m.
Like you may not get back to your hotel till like 8.
Yeah.
No, I got back at almost 9.
Yeah.
The last EDC I went to.
So like if you book let's say a 9 a.m. flight, you have to leave the fest early anyways in order to make that flight. And then even if it's 12 o'clock, you're not getting any sleep. Like it is pretty brutal.
Oh yeah, it's brutal. So
like I would say this is where I am okay doing the red eye end of the day, because at least you can just chill anywhere. Like you can just chill anywhere for a couple hours.
Yeah.
it's
Maybe
less
take a small
hassle.
nap.
Yeah.
So what hotels are you guys staying at this time around?
Staying at the Rio.
I'm staying at the Luxor.
Horseshoe.
Not going.
So going back, like the last EDC I went to, 2022, we actually like most of our friends had like Monday evening flights, and we basically went back at like 9 a.m. Still chilled for a bit because everybody's like still like worked up, and then we all slept for the full day, and then we moved all the bags out into our cars, and then we explored Vegas. But for me, I have family in Vegas, so then I basically, after they left for their flights, I just moved my stuff to my cousin's house and I spent the week in Vegas. But yeah, like Monday, like it's nice having recovery with your friends and then leaving. Because then in 2019, I was sitting at the airport in LA because I drove back with my cousins, and I was sitting at the airport in LA like sobbing and calling another friend who flew back to Toronto from Vegas, and we were both sobbing. Like getting the festival
Post-festival blues.
Yeah.
Post-festival
The
blues.
come down.
So yeah, as we just said, we're all staying hotels, but your other options are Camp EDC,
which you've done before.
which I've done and Jason's done too.
Yep, I've done it once.
And then RV,
You can do RV or
which is
tents.
the glamping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk a bit about it in a bit. EDC Hotel, which is something new that they introduced last year. So it's pretty much the camp EDC experience, but in a hotel, essentially, where they have parties.
Is it the hotel next to the festival?
No, it's not. It's at Resorts World. So Resorts World is like a newer hotel
on the
strip,
On
on the
the
north end of the
Strip.
strip.
Yeah.
And they made it EDC hotel now. So that is the
Oh, I see.
let's go to.
People aren't sleeping there, I swear to God.
No, I mean, but it's probably more relaxing than Camp EDC from our experience for
Yeah.
sure, probably.
So-
And then Airbnb as well, which I know you've
Which
done.
I've done
Kristen.
one.
Yeah.
It's dangerous because apparently I think Vegas doesn't allow Airbnbs, so they're just kind of there, unregulated. So you're risking cancellation,
I
like if you
see.
book it. And then there's one that's like uncommon. My first EDC, I stayed with my friend in Vegas. So then I basically for the first, this is my most expensive EDC because I'm doing hotel. Like Airbnb was cheaper, staying with a friend, and then 1 year I did a hotel, but my cousins paid for it. So yeah.
And it's also, once again, inflation.
Yeah.
The price has
Which-
just gone up. It's been kind of crazy.
Would you say camping is also one of the cheaper options than hotel?
If you book, honestly, it is. If you book a hotel late, then yes, it is, because I think per person, I don't know the full how much it's gone up, but I remember when I did it was like 400, maybe 500 Canadian total for like the weekend, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
What's your experience?
Pretty comparable to the price of a hotel.
Yeah.
It was actually just me and one buddy, so we split the tent between the two of us.
Yeah.
So when you look at it that way, it is pretty pricey
Yeah.
compared to the hotel, but there's a lot of benefits also to Camp EDC.
Wait, what did you bring since you flew over? Did you bring out like all the stuff? Like what? I don't know.
They said they give you
Yeah.
the
Yes.
stuff to set up the
Yeah,
tent,
so
right?
they give you the tent, they give you like a little bit of a mattress, like a blanket, a
so like-
pillow.
Oh,
so they give you all the linens.
Did you did the Desert Rose package?
Yeah.
So okay. I've done the Moon Glow package.
is?
Moon Glow package is pretty much you bring your own sleeping bag. And you sleep on the
Yeah.
turf.
Wait, so they give you the tent and you have to set it up yourself?
No. Like they have pods, is what they call. We'll have pictures
Like
in the video.
TP looking.
Yeah, TP.
Yeah.
Like it's to help with it's like spaceship like
Yeah.
essentially. But the Desert Road package, which Jason did, has premium bedding, so it's only for 2 people, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's a bit more comfier option. And then it's not like legit camping like Electric Forest where it's like you're
They
setting up your
don't
own
give you
tent.
anything, right?
You just have to bring your sleeping bag
Oh.
or you bring your air mattress or whatever, and then you just set it up.
So Jason had a closer to glamp experience.
Yeah, and we
Except-
figured that was the easier way to do it
Yeah.
because you're flying in from Canada.
Yeah,
You don't want to have to
exactly.
lug around
Yeah,
all the linens and
exactly,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So as
What's the food situation like at Camp EDC?
It's pretty good. It's like it has all the amenities.
Comparable to Lost Lands.
Comparable
food?
to Lost Lands. I would say Lost Lands is probably better.
Of course, yeah.
But every festival's been improving their food game drastically.
yeah.
Is this just as expensive inside
Yes,
Camp
it is.
EDC
Yes, it is, yeah.
as outside? Wow.
So did you guys try bringing your own food and groceries?
We did a grocery. So when I've done it, when I did Camp EDC twice, I rented a vehicle twice for our group. So we actually rented a vehicle because we found it was just easier to do grocery runs and any sort of runs we had to do with a vehicle. So we did a grocery run with whatever we could. Obviously, we didn't have like a cooktop or anything. We just bought like perishable stuff and then put it in our cooler. I actually bought like one of those mini coolers, like those ones, and they actually able to fit in my suitcase too. It's like just one that
You
like,
brought a cooler from Canada.
No. I bought one in Vegas.
Oh, and then you brought it back.
And I brought it back
Okay.
because it was
Oh.
it was clutch. It fit in my suitcase. So I'm like, oh, sick.
Yeah.
What's a check-in and check-out situation like at Camp EDC? Is it a mess or is it pretty organized?
It's pretty smooth. Depends on the time you go. So with Camp EDC, it opens up at like noon. And people, like any camping thing, some people will wait there to get into Camp EDC. So it opens Thursday of the EDC weekend. Honestly, you don't need to go for noon. Every time I've done a pool party on the strip, and then I've gone after, and we show up for like 7, 8 o'clock. And there's like almost like no line. Like you can just kind of go to the front. Yeah, you're navigating in the dark, but it is what it is.
Yeah, even when I went, it was back during probably the daytime of Thursday. Not too busy, but pretty hot, as you can imagine.
Yeah,
still waiting in line.
that's the reason
lugging
also
your
why.
suitcases
Oh,
and
okay.
whatever else you're bringing.
Oh, that makes sense.
But overall, pretty smooth process. You go in, get your tags, get your everything.
How
Go
did
through
you?
security.
Did you Uber to the camp?
Yeah,
Okay.
we
Yeah.
Ubered to camp.
I wanted to try that, but I was a little hesitant because we wanted to do grocery runs. People do that to that, and then they Uber out, which
So did
probably
you?
saves money.
You
to be
Ubered
honest.
out to explore?
Yep.
Did you? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
So, what do you say, like, for Canadians who want to go to EDC? How many days off do they have to take?
1
Minimum
week.
1 week, from Wednesday to Wednesday.
So
6
with our
days.
holiday, maximum, honestly, you can get away with 4 days, I would say.
Really?
4 days minimum. Well, yeah.
5?
Wednesday, well, you're talking about the weekend. So, like, you get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. Monday, you get off automatically.
I
And then
haven't worked
Tuesday,
long enough.
and then Tuesday, you take off for most
Yeah.
people. So 4 days probably is what you could do. And then 3 days if you want to go to work on
I
Tuesday.
guess that's why there's so many Canadians that go.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
honestly, you can even show up Thursday.
'Cause
There's
if you-
nothing
Yeah.
wrong with showing up Thursday.
If you go there, other than like clearly Americans, like you'll see a lot of Canadian and Australian flags.
Yeah.
I feel like Australia might have Victoria Day too, right?
I think a lot of Australians just come to EDC. I don't know if it's died down because of the pandemic, but I remember when I went in 2019, I saw a lot of Australians.
Yeah, same.
A lot of Australians.
Yeah, a lot of on the side, a lot of Australians seem to love coming to America for festivals. I guess,
They love
yeah.
coming to the West Coast one. I know EDC was the big one for them.
Ultra too. There's a lot like I've seen.
Ultra, I find you get more Europeans than
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you get the like here and there Aussie, but I find like if you're coming from Australia, you're making like a month trip. I find,
yeah, I
but
think
at least
so.
with EDC, I find like they do like a week and they
Yeah, it's because the flight from Australia to
probably
America is
2
like-
legs.
It's 2 legs and it's like 30 hours or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
long, it's far.
Yeah.
It's like LA and then probably Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, at EDC you'll see a lot of people bring Canadian flags because I did it myself my first year.
Now, one thing to bridge on to the next one is as internationals, we unfortunately now have to go to will call every time.
For $17.10.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Everything is will
That's
call right now.
Yeah. They used to ship it out to us, and then I think they stopped. I can't remember if that was right before the pandemic
They
or
stopped it.
They stopped
last
it in my year last year.
Last year.
So I had to go to will call.
So what they used to do. So what happened was, I think it was in 2022 where this happened. Everyone used to get the box.
Yeah.
They used to always ship the box to everyone. Everyone used to get the box on
This is
time.
the box.
Yeah, so we have
it's,
the box here.
There are different designs every year. So it comes with a sleeve and there's a bunch of information inside.
There's like stickers.
There's
pins.
stickers, there's pins, there's this Insomniac
It's quite a
little
nice
eye patch. This is for last year, but
Yeah.
other years they give different things
Like
like,
the
Yeah, I have the neck garter.
the neck garter.
2022 or 2019?
2019.
2019, yeah. I have
And
that one, yeah.
Then they also gave out what's that, sling bags for which year?
That was for premium shuttles.
Oh,
when we
wow.
did that. As you get a lot of goodies with EDC. Like they do a good job with their packages.
Yeah.
So we're paying for will call $17.10 American. That's like
Pay
23
for
bucks.
You have to pay for
That's
it, which is kind of
crazy.
dumb. But
Yeah.
so what happened in 2022 is everyone got their box, but apparently because of the way the U.S. postal system works, they have to go clear customs and something like that. No one got their shuttle pass, and no one got their Camp EDC pass. So everyone had to go to will call to get that, which defeated like pretty much it's shipped, but it never arrived. So now they just decided it's just like instead of taking that risk, we're just gonna make sure everyone you just have to come to will call if you're outside
I
the
feel like
state.
there's a better solution for that.
No, but
I
there's
feel
there's
like
that-
better
There's
solutions,
something.
but they're making it convenient for themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
essentially it's
they-
convenient for them because they had to do double the amount of printing.
And they'll have to like pay extra hours for people.
Might as well you just make everyone come to
yeah,
will call.
but then now they're
Yeah,
gonna
but, like,
give the
don't-
cost to us, so we pay that $17.50, and then now we have to Uber to will call and Uber
Yeah.
back, and
It's
that's
a money grab. Like we can't do anything about it. It's so sad.
So unfortunately, yeah, if you're planning to come to EDC, you have to factor in the days. This is why we say Thursday or Wednesday is probably ideal because you don't want to arrive Friday,
And then
go to will call.
and be stuck in a rush with everybody else trying to pick up their
will call.
wristband.
Yeah.
How many people like
There's a lot of people
like
who go
100?
Friday. There's a
no,
lot.
no, no.
of-
How many attendees are at EDC every year? Like 100,000 or something?
I think every day they say around 150,000 attendees per day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
So
Uh,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, you want to plan around that. You want to also, if your flight is arriving late, you could also give your information, like your barcode, your to a friend if they are going to go pick it up. So
Yeah.
that's a strategy you can do. They just need your credit card.
Is there will call at the shuttle stops?
So there is will call. So apparently shuttle you can pick up at the shuttle stop, is from what I recall.
Yep.
Your
But
shuttle
the-
pass you pick up at
Yeah.
the shuttle.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
But the actual box
The actual box is
or
the
camping,
center.
you have to go to the World Pavilion Center, which is North Las Vegas near downtown. It's pretty easy to go to.
That's also free parking.
Yeah, it opens Wednesday.
Be aware of your belongings because North Vegas kind of downtown. It's a little sketchy. So be aware.
It opens Wednesday, good till midnight.
Mm-hmm.
It opens Thursday, also good till midnight, and then on the weekends open till 3 a.m. But try to plan going Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
Because
I went last year. I went Thursday, and I picked up for a bunch of people because I was one of the few in the group that arrived first. So I ended up picking up like 3 or 4 boxes
They
for myself.
authorized. How were they authorized? Because some festivals are very strict about like pickups.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's
you
pretty lenient.
just give the scanner code, and then like you just kind of show them that that somebody asked you to do will call.
So they'll
right?
send you a scanner code when time
No, like
comes.
your friend will have to send you the barcode to pick it up. So they scan the code.
Because I've never done will call before. Like they send you a code to pick up your box.
So when your payment, so for those who did layaway and those who bought out their ticket, you should have a barcode in your email.
Yes.
So
you should have a
go to
barcode.
your account, check the barcode. You have to show that to them. You have to show your ID, and you have to show. You have to give them your last 3 digits of the credit card.
Last
Did
4.
you have to
sorry,
do that
four,
for all
four.
4?
So for me, I received all the information, the credit card, the ID, and the thing. They only check, last year they only checked the ID and the barcode scan. They didn't give a shit about the credit card.
Yeah.
So, but
I think they know a lot of people, like, they're not going to make it so hard because a lot of people do buy, like, I bought from you.
Yeah.
You actually bought an EDC
yeah,
ticket.
I actually bought an EDC pass for this year, but I can't go. I have other plans.
So I bought Yikern's EDC pass for a friend, and he gave me all his info so that I could pick it up smoothly.
Yeah. So they kind of make it like a big fuss where last year they said that, oh, you need to have a picture of the credit card, but you can hide the first 12 numbers and leave the last 4 digits exposed, right? But when I picked it up last year, they didn't really care. They just want the ID to match the name with the barcode, and then you're good to go.
The policies are strict, but when you get to the employees, they don't want to deal with all the intricacies. Because for Ultra, like 2 weeks ago, I carried a handwritten letter from my seller, and she gave me her ID, like a picture of her ID and like the last digits of her like credit card. But when I went there, they looked kind of shocked that I had a written letter. They just gave me
Crazy.
It's just like the security too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the securities, it's not like they don't care, but it's like it's really relaxed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I find security to be really lenient, but it's also hit or miss depending on.
Yeah.
Depending on who you go
get.
to, what you get, yeah. So different ways to get to EDC. There is the shuttle, there is the drive, and if you're already camping, then just walk.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start off with shuttle.
Yeah,
Because
with shuttle.
I would say, is probably the most ideal EDC experience way.
if you have the pass already.
That's the only problem. Unfortunately, for everyone listening, getting an EDC shuttle pass is
It's
worse
hard,
than worse than a ticket.
Yeah, it's harder than getting a ticket.
And
which
especially
makes
if
no
you want to
sense.
do premium, because then you have assigned times and you have peak hours and off peak hours. Once again, we'll show it on the video, the times.
But I find that the times don't matter so much. They're like a
They give you a grace period, or you can
Yeah.
just take a
So-
Yeah, exactly.
or you can just take a standard shuttle.
I
Yeah,
tried
yeah.
buying a premier one, and the time from my seller was 10:30 to head there, and then was it 4 a.m. leave? But I usually go around 6.
You would
7.
essentially
Yeah.
just be using standard shuttles for a premium
Yeah.
pass,
Yeah.
which honestly, it's not worth it in my opinion
Yeah.
to buy that one.
Face value.
unless you want the perks of the premium.
But I've done the premium shuttle without needing to go at my specific time slot. Like maybe they probably give you like an hour grace
Like
period.
if they have space, probably
Yeah.
they'll let you. But yeah, I inquired a few days ago. It was $415 Canadian, and with my calculations, I'd rather sit on the cement floor under the Uber tent and wait for an Uber because it's half the price for the weekend.
But hey, in my experience, I think if you once you take a shuttle pass, you would never want to go any other way. Could you specify?
Yeah. Shuttle is the most recommended way. I mean, I know a lot of people drive, and I know you've driven.
Yeah, I've driven
before.
last year.
But I wouldn't want to find myself stuck in that much traffic, leaving the speedway.
I'll
especially.
tell you my side of the story when we come to the driving part.
But if you have if you have premier parking,
Yeah, I'll tell the story. So for shuttle, there are two differences with the regular one and the premier shuttle, right?
Yep.
So last time, do they had premium shuttle at all?
Yeah, they
Yep.
usually have premium shuttles.
Yep. So they always have standard shuttles and premier shuttles. For the past few years, premier shuttles and standard shuttles have always been at the same spots on the strip. This year, you'll see if you look at the 2024 map, and I'm sure a lot of people realized the premier shuttles got killed essentially,
nerfed.
Right.
Yeah.
and that resulted in a lot of people having to rebook their hotels, also
Including you, right?
including
Yeah.
myself. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you went from where to where?
So originally we booked the Luxor because historically there's always a Luxor premier shuttle,
That's what we booked.
and now there's not one. So we booked the Rio, which is the next closest option.
And our group stuck with Luxor just because the price was too good. So we're gonna tank it and go to Grand Prix. So just to move one step back. So it's standard shuttles, premier shuttles.
Yeah,
You
what are
have-
the differences?
So there's 4 spots for standard. Standard is just like your normal shuttle service. You literally line up, you wait in line, you get on the shuttle, and then they drive you to EDC, right? And it's as the bus fills, the next one comes. As the bus
Yeah.
fills, the
So
next one comes.
first come, first serve,
Yeah.
essentially.
You can go anytime you want. Premier, they have set times. So if you show up in your allotted set times, you pretty much get pre-security. So they do security before you board the Premier, so it saves you time to get into the festival. And then you get amenities like a little goodie bag, and it's more comfortable, like smaller shuttles. Like
Yep.
it's more like bougie in that sense.
Really?
So in your experience, have you taken both?
Yep.
Jason?
Yep. So I've always taken standard shuttles. Took Premier for the first time last year.
I got hooked on
I
it.
don't think I
Yeah.
can go back to
Yeah.
standard at this
And-
point.
Well,
What's
a lot
the
of my-
difference other than the timings
The time
and the specialized lane?
Yeah.
the
So
ease of
aside
getting on the coach bus is so much. It just seems so much more easier.
Exactly. So my experience so far with the Premier shuttle is when you go there, like when I've taken standard before, I remember some years I've waited in line for 2 hours to get on that first
Yeah.
standard shuttle bus to leave out. Premier, I've never had that issue yet.
Yeah.
Typically you go and everybody there is for that designated time, which I get 6 p.m. And I've maybe waited in line like 10 minutes for the Premier bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is my first year doing it. I've only done standard shuttle once, and it was that one weird EDC year in 2021 where honestly everything was out the window.
Yeah.
Like nothing made sense. So I was actually in downtown, and downtown is actually a pretty good experience. From like I barely waited like 10-15 minutes for a standard shuttle. So everyone's experience was different. I know previously if it was Tropicana, that used to be like the most busiest one.
Yeah.
So we have there's 4 stops for standard, and there's 5 stops for premier. So we'll have it on the map.
I think this year everybody and their moms is looking for Grand Prix.
Yes. So Grand
Yep.
Prix is the one that kind of screwed everything up.
Yeah.
And we have the Resorts World, which is also added for Hotel EDC. The Rio, the Downtown, and the Strat have always kind of been there. But Grand Prix used to be Luxor, and also at one point MGM too. I think they had one at MGM. But they condensed it to Grand Prix, which makes sense logistically because now that F1's in Las Vegas, they have an actual like dedicated lot for F1. So
It's
makes
called the
the
circuit thingy, right?
yeah, it's
Las
like
Vegas
it's
circuit.
essentially like the lot for like if you're going to the F1 race. So they're just using that one. But it kind of screwed a lot of hotels up. Like
Yes.
it's fun. It's funny in the map. I don't know what it was either when they have the map of like what shuttle should you buy. For some reason, they omitted Luxor from the map too. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Luxor Mandalay. Sorry, you guys don't exist anymore." I was like, "What?"
So it kind of screwed you over then.
It's honest. I end up sticking with it because I've heard it's not terrible. Like you could walk 30 minutes, but at the same time, I heard Uber
Yeah.
on the strip, like in the morning, is fine.
I
Yeah.
hear,
Uber during the
day.
I hear it looks like a short distance on the map, but realistically, you're gonna be walking very far on the strip.
30
Yeah.
minutes after raving for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
walking from one end of the strip to the other.
Yeah.
Especially in the heat.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's when
not.
the sun starts coming up too. So
Yeah.
But then, like, we don't know if we're getting the breeze this year. Usually it's like the breeze and then it starts to get hot.
Yeah, it's a gamble, right? Because like
Yeah.
2 years ago was like the winds of EDC, and then last year it was relatively okay because
Oh,
we
okay.
kind of prepared for day 2. Like we brought some jackets in, some light sweaters in our bags to prepare for it, but we didn't even need to use it.
Yeah.
Ended up taking more clothes off instead of putting them on.
I think for this year, maybe it's a safe bet to get like the what do you call it? The thermal,
Thermoplastic.
yeah.
Yeah, blanket.
Yeah, to bring one just in case.
Yeah. Bring
And
one just-
always, if you're going for the first time, bring a hoodie. Just have one ready to go.
Like a
Yeah.
The
thin
desert
one, a thin
winds
one.
are another thing. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, the windbreakers are a good clutch.
Because I was naive in my first year thinking, oh, I'm in Vegas. It's not going to be cold in May. And then the winds hit, and I'm like, holy shit.
yeah. So my 2019 year, like, we were so fed up with the cold that we like just paid, like, you know, those, like, what do you call those, like the little mini trucks or whatever.
Oh,
Like-
those little carts that like
yeah,
cart
yeah.
you?
We paid for the cart. They just sped us to our like parking lot car, and then like that was it.
One thing I will mention about the premium shuttle is right at when you get off, there is a lounge.
Yep.
A lounge straight off.
Yeah,
the-
so when you have Premier Shuttle, it's a different spot where you get dropped off versus the standard shuttle.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's a lounge. You got to go, you chill. They give you free stuff.
Yeah.
So
What is
last
the
year,
free stuff?
yeah. So last year we got an EDC Pashmina, which was pretty cool.
Oh, I had that pashmina.
Yep. You've got that, and just a few other goodies. Also, you can get water as well.
Yeah,
So-
I'm excited. That's why everyone says
Yeah.
once you do premium, you can't go back. But it is pretty pricey.
Yeah, it is pretty pricey. So
But
you
I
have to
think
know.
it's worth it. You save so much time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
with
think
with all the shuttle, the reason why it's so probably the ideal way to go is because they actually cut through the Air Force Base. So there's an Air Force Base in Las Vegas, the Nellis Air Force Base, and they're the only group authorized to cut through that Air Force Base, which saves a huge amount of time.
Wonder how much money Pascal paid for that.
That's why the premium shuttle pass is
Yeah.
so
Yeah, so
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah.
It's more expensive than the pass itself, the EDC pass itself,
it can
right?
be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the notable thing, the Air Force is one of the point of interest that you are reaching EDC. So whether you're in Uber, whether you're driving there, or whether you're taking the
It
shuttle
might
pass.
be the last time you have signal too.
Yeah, it'll be the last time you have signal too.
Yeah.
So like every time when we pass the military base, everybody texts in the group chat. Okay, start putting in timestamps on your messages, right? Because
Shotgun my
passing.
beer.
Yeah, we're passing the military base right now. So yeah, the other ways of going to EDC is driving, which I had experienced last year. I took regular parking is free. You don't need to register anything. But if you did premier parking, you have a designated spot for premier parking, and it's streamlined in and out, just like the premier shuttle. You can get to your spot earlier and just get out as quick as possible. Because when I did for regular parking, where you park matters. And if you don't go there early, you lose your spot. And they designated the parking spot for you. So when you drive into this little, depends on which area you go into EDC, the north or the south, they direct your car to which parking spot you go to.
Is there only one entrance for EDC parking? Or is there
I think
multiple?
that's two.
Okay.
I think
Is there
there's two.
one ideal one to get out quicker? Because in the end, the worst thing about parking is getting out. I think
Yeah.
that's where-
Getting out.
So I think you don't want to get into the lot E part, which is the furthest away from the thing, because
But that
what-
means you've come later. Because
no, you come earlier.
Oh.
You come a lot earlier.
Oh, okay.
You come a lot earlier. You get the one on the east side of the layout. Any parking spot, I think A, B, C, you have a better time to get out and get in, right?
Early bird gets the worm.
Early bird gets the worm. The reason why I say that is because once you enter EDC, that short walk is how you're getting out, right? If you park in lot E, you actually have to walk this whole entire path. It's probably like 2 kilometers or 1.5 or something like that. And walking there is fine, but once you're raving for 12 hours and you're trying to get out and go back to your parking spot,
I guess it's
and you
because
gotta remember where it is. Too.
yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta remember where it is too. And it happened to me on day 2 because we came late and we stayed till like 7 in the morning just to get out. Oh my, like it was so the walk there. It was so brutal to the point that like I had to carry some of my friends' bags because they were just too burnt out.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember that night because I think so. I took the Premier Shuttle last year.
Yeah.
We were getting dropped off, walking back to the hotel, and this was maybe like 7 to 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was texting Yikern, and he was like, "Hey, we just made it out of the parking lot."
Yeah, pretty much. So get there early, get the nice spots, and so you can get out early too. So and the regular parking, whichever entrance you get into EDC is whichever entrance you want to get out.
Yeah.
So the minute you miss that entrance, backtracking it or walking around the...
You have to walk around the entire racetrack.
Yeah, you have to walk
Oh.
the entire around the parking lot, not even the racetrack, it's the parking lot outside the racetrack. So, and that whole stretch to get back to where your lot is, there is no like Ubers or there's no like little golf carts that will just shuttle you around. So you have to walk that strip. So we made this mistake on day 2 where we thought we parked on lot... No, we actually did it in... Yeah, day 2. We thought we parked on lot B, but we actually exited the lot E lot. So we actually did that 1.5K walk, and then we find out that our car is not parked here, but we cannot actually backtrack it. We had to walk around the parking lot to lot E. So that whole walk took like an hour just to get...
After 12 hours of raving,
after 12 hours
so
of raving, walked an hour just to get to our car and then get out of the parking lot, which everybody was trying to get out, and you just jammed there for like
An hour.
I'm
surprised you remember everything because like after the whole EDC you're so exhausted because I had the same issue. I'm passenger princess, so the first 3 EDCs I just sat in the car and slept, but like we couldn't find our car and we thought somebody stole it, and we walked back and forth between 2 lots and it took like over an hour, and turns out like our car was in another lot. So you like, I'm surprised that well, not surprised, he was driving so he has to remember where his car is, but even my cousins couldn't remember where our car was. So remember where you parked.
Take photos of the posts. So they have little posts on the regular parking lots. They say which lot you are in and what section you are in. So take a photo of that so you don't forget about it and don't lose your phone.
One thing also is there is the thing is that if you're tired, you can take a nap in your car for like an hour or 2, but just note you can't stay in the parking lot past, I think, 9 a.m. Because they will tow your car to another lot.
So
I've heard that. So like you can't actually just leave your car parked there and sleep there for a couple hours. You actually have to leave by a certain point. But you can take a nap in your car for like an hour or 2.
Usually when you leave EDC, you just see a bunch of people zombie dead in cars. And they're just like knocked out there. Yeah.
I was one of them.
It's
and I was driving too.
Going to EDC is like playing chess. It's like you gotta strategize every move you make.
Yeah, you gotta strategize every move you make, and you gotta spend where it's worth it. Like even though you see the huge price tag on Premier Shuttle, like $400 over, if you have the budget, do it, because if not. If you do like regular parking, you rent a car and whatnot, you actually have to go through a lot more hassle. Like getting out for Jason took him 10 minutes to get out of the parking lot, and then another 30 minutes back to his hotel, and then he had to pass out on his bed. I, on the other hand, reached back to the hotel on my bed 3 hours later. So it's like, it's a huge difference, right? That
Why are you so tired? God.
Yeah.
That you don't want to do a pool party?
That 2 extra hours of sleep makes a huge difference when you're doing a marathon of a rave like EDC for 3 days straight. And it's especially brutal from sundown to sun up. Yeah, those who have not done sundown to sun up, everybody who asks me what's my experience with EDC and how to prepare for it, I just say go train, walk around the city for like hours on end.
It's intense, especially intense. Raving all night. You're literally raving from sundown till sunrise.
Does anyone have experience with Premier parking? Is there an upgraded parking?
Yes,
there is, but I don't think anyone here has done it.
No, I've had friends who've done it. It's just like like you said, it's like a specific stream, like road. They take another road in, so it's quicker as well. So if you're willing to drive, or if you have people that are like willing to alternate driving, it's nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now the third option, which myself and Jason done, camp. We're not gonna worry about any of that shit.
Oh no! Wait, Ubers.
Oh, your Uber?
Yeah, okay, I've Ubered. I've Ubered before, and like I think it's like going there $30-$40 max, and you split it with like 3 other people. Yeah, but then coming back, it's like $100. So, but if you calculate it, it's half the price of the shuttle. So the thing is, if you
That's only if you share with 4 people, right?
3.
3.
Yes, but the thing is, you're waiting under a tent, and it's just a tent with nothing else. So, like, I've sat and like I've like slept on the cold cement, waiting for an Uber because they kind of cancel. It take forever to come in. So I would recommend like pre-booking, scheduling your Uber ahead, and then it's cheaper. And if you can't get a shuttle pass, then I would Uber.
I've heard crazy stories about how pricey it can be.
Yeah.
Where it ends up being like 100, 150.
But like yes, if you have a little group,
split between
Yeah.
You have to split it. It is an option, so they do it, but it's just with all the traffic and everything, be prepared to wait.
So how much is a regular shuttle? It's like what, 150?
yeah, somewhere there.
And then
150, and then like
US.
Premier's like 250.
I thought it was like around 3. Okay.
It's like 250, maybe 275 for
yeah.
peak times or something like that.
My seller said 415 Canadian, so it was probably like
Yeah.
300. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, Uber is an option, but not I would say it's not ideal.
Not ideal compared to shuttle, but currently I can't find shuttle passes, or like they're like I don't want to pay for Premier.
Yeah. It's
So-
impossible to find.
Like apparently you could contact them and try to change the time for Premier. So yeah.
Yeah. And Camp EDC, which we already talked about it briefly earlier, it is another option, and it is a good one. You can Uber there. You can rent a car like I did. Jason Ubered.
And
And
then
then,
rent an RV.
or you can rent an RV if you do it early enough, and then you can do RV camping.
Make sure you're wherever you rent your RV, the person doesn't cancel on you. I've heard of stories like that.
Yes, that too.
Yeah.
Make sure you put in the deposit, get it all picked up, ready to go, return in the same condition, obviously, and you should have a smooth experience. But we touched upon the check-in process. It's Thursday. You kind of don't want to do it during the day. It's kind of really hot. When you check in, you can actually, for Desert Rose through, also, I think you can choose where you want to camp. And this is the one thing about going early, where some people say you want to go early, because then you can choose the spot you want. The way camp, we'll have a map of Camp EDC in the video showing the layout, but they segregate it by like the Desert Rose camping area, and then they have different other like turquoise, sapphire, and it's like your designation according to where the mesa is. Now the mesa is like the main pavilion where all the food is, the pools are, the main stage for the camp is. If you check in early, you can choose where you want to go, and that could play. The strategy for that is how close do you want to be to the mesa? Or do you want to be far away from the mesa? Do you want to be closer to the bathrooms? Because all that ties into, will you get sleep, right?
And you won't.
And you won't, unfortunately. Doesn't matter where you are, but if you're closer to the mesa, you're going to hear the music, you're going to hear a lot of foot traffic, but you're closer. If you're farther away, you have to do 10, 15-minute walking potentially, but you're farther away and you won't be able to hear sounds. But Camp EDC is another experience. I personally enjoyed it because it's like you never left EDC. You're always in EDC, which EDC, one great thing is exactly what it stands for, Electric Daisy Carnival. It is literally another world when you enter EDC,
Yeah,
right?
it is. Yeah.
You're
Like when you walk into the bleachers and you just see every single year, it's like just breathtaking. And I tell first time goers, like you gotta like don't like have that mental preparation once you walk past those like bleacher doors, and don't like just like I don't know, get a panic attack. But I think the entrances are different this year, right? Or were they different last year already?
I don't know if the entrances are different, so we'll have the map up. Shuttles enter through I think A, which is all the way like on the northeast end, and then the camp and the parking enter through like C side, which is like where Cosmic Meadow is, and then the where you're talking about is where the Cosmic Meadow is. So you want to enter from
I've
that.
always entered from there.
Yeah. So a lot of
from the
times,
bleachers.
but you haven't done shuttles. That's why.
No.
If you do shuttles, you enter from the other side of the venue.
That other side seems a little gloomier. I don't know why. I think it's a better view at Cosmic
Oh
Meadow.
no, it's way better because
Yeah.
you get the bleachers, right? So
Yeah.
it's way better. Definitely an experience. If you show up early for Friday, they have an opening ceremony, which everyone, if you have a pass, can go to the Rio, I believe, and then you can board the shuttle early. All those shuttles drop you off at Cosmic Meadow at that entrance.
So
you can see it.
Cosmic Meadow is where they start the
opening ceremony. They block it off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. I never gone there, even though everybody say, oh, we don't really care about EDC. Just go. If they start at 7, just go at 10, go at 11.
No, we'll talk about this later, right? Did we talk about the best time to leave for the festival?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
talk about that when we go into the actual festival. But back to camp. So once you check in, showers are free for those wondering. like
Are the lights
it's
locked?
a thing I have to mention because when you do like
Electric Forest
or
and Lost Lands,
you have to pay
$10 a pop.
to
That's
shower.
15
Wow.
Canadian.
Yeah, you have to pay to shower. Showers are
Wow.
free. They did have a bathroom I don't know. It's North American Festival. They had bathroom situation all over
all the time.
where all the I don't know. They used porcelain in the desert heat and all the rims. You couldn't find a bathroom that was actually like intact.
Yeah, I remember there was one day I was walking around for at least 40 minutes to the different bathrooms on camp, just trying to find one I could use.
No. You might as well use a corner somewhere behind a bush or something.
Yeah, the camp EDC bathroom situation is pretty abysmal. Hopefully it
I
gets
think
resolved.
the bathroom situation, just at EDC in general,
It's
is,
pretty
like,
bad.
They should, like, if people are paying for, like, Desert Rose or, like, VIP, they should have washrooms, like, Ultra. I don't know if you saw this year or if previous years they have it. They're literally decorated washrooms, actual washrooms. And, like, it's like a double...
It's kind of sad that we have to say actual washroom.
Yeah. It's like double the size of like an airplane washroom, and then the toilets are like the metal ones from the airplane washrooms, and then you flush it and it's like the blue liquid or whatever. But yeah, they had like little like even paintings on the wall, like like they had like canvases too.
Yeah, but I do
Yeah.
not know whether metal washrooms will work in EDC
Because of the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is this showers? Does it take long to get to? Like, is
it
there a
depends
lineup?
on where. Yeah, honestly, a tip: shower after the festival.
Oh, yeah.
literally
Yeah,
shower
that's what
after
I
the
did. So I stayed till the end every single morning, came back, showers were empty, so I went.
Yeah.
If you try and go shower at like maybe 11 or
In the
12
morning.
p.m. when everybody's starting to wake up, like there's lines for the shower.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
guys
and
and
then
girls.
if you definitely go at like 4 or 5, there's lines all over in order to get right before the festival. I've done that. I had to wait in the line for like half an hour, maybe longer. What Jason says is the best.
Are
Just-
people just like holding their toiletry and like,
essentially that's what you're doing.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Yeah. Do they provide you towels or you have to bring your
You
own?
have to bring everything of your own.
Yeah.
So with Camp EDC,
wait, do
it's-
they tell you what to bring?
Yeah, they have a list. So
Okay, okay.
We'll have a link.
It's like
in
you
our,
show up with like nothing and you're just like
we'll have a link of how to prepare. You don't have to prepare with like tents and stuff. As I said, I rented a car 2 years. Jason Ubered. We did grocery runs, so you want to just pack up on little things. But as an international, the only thing I brought camping wise was a sleeping bag. And you could do an air mattress if you're able to squeeze it. I've heard of stories too of people buying it and then returning it after. But I know a lot of the local like Walmarts and them have now cracked down on that. So a lot of people
Amazon?
toss them. You can bring alcohol too, just like any other camping festival.
Do they check your bags? Because for camp,
yep.
yeah, Lost
Yeah,
Lands,
yeah.
they check your bags.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they check your bags.
Yep, you have to go through full security.
They don't do vehicle security. They do at the actual because you don't vehicle camp. You have to lug your suitcase through gravel.
Do you think they're mainly looking for weapons here as well, or
I
they're
think it's
mainly?
weapons.
Oh yeah.
It's
they-
mostly
yeah.
weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I go through security last year, I put my bag out. This guy just feels the whole entire bag to see if there's anything that is solid and hard. If there is, then they would check it.
It really depends on day where they're more strict. From what
Yeah.
I've experienced. So then usually you just like obviously you wait for like, or if you know friends that have gone earlier, you're just like, oh, how's the situation?
Yeah. So for if you encounter a security guard that is strict, just walk out and go to another.
Profile them.
Yeah. Just walk out and go to another one and hope
And
for the
profile
legal
them
one,
for
yeah.
your group.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
a good tip
yeah.
because usually you can see if you're at the back of the line which lines are moving faster and which
Yeah.
lines are
Yeah.
moving longer.
Yeah. So the other strategy is that you go to the furthest end, and then like if that fails, you go to the middle one. If that fails, go to the start, and then that fails, and then you go in between of all of those.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah. Because the reason why I say that is last year at EDC, I was told that we should bring stools because you need stools.
Yeah, that's
right.
There's
I
the
can give you
portable
that.
ones like
the portable ones that
stack-
extract.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on day 3, I went to the security guard and they say, "Oh, no stools allowed for day 3, blah blah blah," and they made me toss it, and I was like, okay, fine, no, I don't really care about it. My buddy who has the thing, he just went to another security guard and just went through. Right? And so I actually
any festival, it's always inconsistent.
So a good thing to say is, oh, can I go back to my car and put it away and then go to another lane?
Yeah, but here's the thing though. They don't allow you to do that. It's because you have to pass through your pass scanner first before the security. So when you go through the pass scanner and it's a one-time entry, you cannot go out and come back in of the same day. You have to actually buy another pass if you want to do that.
That's crazy.
So just go to another security and say, "Oh wait, I'm just gonna toss it over the fence." Okay, cool. Then just walk around.
I want to have a moment with my chair first.
Yeah, I want to have a moment with my chair first, and then just go another. Yeah.
But yeah, like security, Camp EDC, same thing. Like very limited. Once again, it's a full camp experience. You're gonna have a pre-party. They have a pre-party Thursday night. Usually, some pretty good artists show up. You don't really sleep. That's the only problem at Camp EDC is that you don't sleep because in the morning the heat starts hitting at like 9 a.m.
Are you sure 9? It's like 8.
It's
right?
like 8. It's like 8, honestly. And they also have pre-parties in the morning if you're cracked.
Yep.
Are they more like
mean
underground
post-party?
artists?
Post-party.
Nope.
Post-party.
Post party.
It really depends. I remember when I did camp, John Summit was actually there doing the pool parties.
No.
And I think he
Wait,
actually
which year was that? Last year?
2021. So it was the year they had it in October.
But he was still pretty new back then. So
yeah, he didn't blow up like he did starting in 2022, I would say.
Yeah.
So, but
I mean,
What?
he's up there right now.
yeah,
We-
he's definitely up
when
there.
I did 2022, we had I think Fisher was the pre-party opener.
Oh.
And then the pool parties are just like they have one base day, and then the other two are just more house. The pool parties are pretty sick. Definitely check it out.
This is within Camp EDC.
Yep,
within
it's
camp.
within Camp EDC, all within
There's
the
like
mesa.
a pool, right?
Yep, there's an actual pool.
So how is it built? Is it like a backyard pool? Like I can't imagine it.
They have so it changes every year. We'll show a map of like the last year one, but they have it in like sections too, where they had like a pirate ship at the front, from what I recall last time, and then they had one pool here and then one.
So
pool.
it's like a jacuzzi looking thing.
It's like a mini like multiple little like long little pools and like multiple rows back.
It's really big.
It's
like,
really
there's, like
big.
hundreds of people.
I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah.
confused. I need pictures of this. So it's like a backyard long pool. Like,
Yeah.
So people always say like, oh, the water in the pool is gross. Like, don't get
Probably
it.
is.
Well, I mean, it is. All it takes one person to ruin it.
Blech.
But that's the same thing even for the pool parties during EDC week at the different venues.
Yeah.
I mean, you just wear your clothes and just jump right in, and your pool's already contaminated.
Yeah. In terms of like Camp EDC is what it is. The pre-parties are pretty sick. The post-parties are pretty sick.
I've never been to a post party.
At Camp EDC, I only do
Camp
so
EDC.
when I do the Camp EDC one, I do it on the final day.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I usually stay up and I don't sleep. I literally
Wait,
don't
when
sleep.
does the post party end?
Like on the final day, like 10 a.m. Actually, every
okay.
day it ends at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually kind of like
So it's EDC is recommending you to sleep at 10:30 a.m. to like 3 p.m.
No, you don't even
Not
sleep in
even.
your tent. I literally on one of the days I literally went to the mesa, which is like the pavilion. They have a bunch of shaded like tents, and I literally laid on the ground for 5 hours,
with some other people that
which
were
is
laying
other
on the
people
ground.
lay on the ground. That's how I made day
Group
3.
therapy.
They don't
Interesting.
care when you sleep. They just want to provide you as much value as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's probably why like people just slide around the floor in EDC too, like at Stereo Bloom. Is that Stereo Bloom? Somewhere there, Stereo Bloom, near Stereo Bloom, just lying down there just to
No,
chill.
even in front of Cosmic Meadow
Yeah.
near like Daisy Lane,
Yeah,
where they have the
that's it.
structures there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good area.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just talking about the layout of EDC when you first get in. When you go through, if you're parking and Ubering, you will go through the bleachers of Cosmic Meadow, which is on the west side of the layout.
So one thing though is that apparently this year they're changing some of the locations. We don't have the map yet, but they're changing some of the locations.
Yep.
Of,
What have you heard?
So BasePod is moving, Neon Garden is moving, and Quantum is moving, and like actually most of the stages are moving. So like Quantum, Neon, BasePod, Wasteland are moving to different locations. I think the one thing is, and just to add on the other one, Kinetic, and then they also have Stereo Bloom. Those are your main stages. And then you have Art Cars. As I said, we'll have all the links below. The individual lineups are released on that. We're not really going too much into depth, or we're going to be talking about it for an hour longer.
Do you know why they're changing the layouts?
So what happened is apparently it's on the racetrack, and what it was is there used to be like these charging pillars that were around the track for when the racetrack happens for like RVs and stuff. Apparently they're able to remove those now and like remove them completely from the festival, which increased the layout. So now they've gotten a bit more room. So now they're moving some of the stages around, like BasePod. Like BasePod lately has been really bad, just because like when it's a big artist at BasePod, people are lined up all the way to Daisy Lane, the main, and
also the Ferris wheel, right? Also
Yeah,
like-
exactly.
Which stage is Sarah Landry at?
A Neon Garden.
Okay, yeah.
So Neon Garden, they're also moving. They're making it a mega structure this year. Or
Yeah,
like
they're doing a
tent.
new design this year.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah, 'cause-
they're increasing the footprint on that.
Yeah, because we heard about predicted like heavier ground control for crowd control for Sarah Landry. So yeah, just be careful if you're going to the Sarah Landry set. Yeah.
Yeah, and then each of the stages have their own genres.
every other stages is going bigger except for
Wasteland and Quantum.
and Quantum Valley. Yeah.
They have their niche.
They have their moments.
Well, okay, so Quantum, for one thing about Quantum is the day 3 lineup. I don't know how they're going to control Lane 8 and Prida there. A Prida set is Eric Pridz's Prida alias, and Eric Pridz is very popular, and they're putting him at
And
Quantum.
what does Prida play?
It's like more progressive, like deep house and house. Very unique. Like a Prida set is like rare, so I don't know how they're going to control that Quantum, especially if
Maybe
they
that's
decrease the
what
layout.
you think though. So maybe you are one of like few people.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's going to be packed.
It's gonna be
But what if it's the same time slot as Sarah Landry?
I will go see Prida.
Oh, wow.
That's fine.
Yeah, I feel the
I saw
same
the
way.
true hard techno queen last night.
Oh, true, Rebecca.
Sarah Landry's the TikTok heart techno queen. I'm gonna get a lot of flack for that. But yeah.
So layout, you have different types of stages, and good thing about EDC is that each stage is one genre, right? Except for the two main stages.
and Cosmic Meadow. Cosmic Meadow mixes it up too.
Yeah. But mostly I always see that it's always house and like Afrojack and things like that. But the two main stages, Kinetic Field and also Circuit Grounds, the distance between the two is like 25-minute walk.
Yeah.
You go through the good thing that they do it on opposite ends, the north and south of the layout, so that you can actually, while walking to different stages,
You get
actually
distracted.
you get distracted. You
Yeah.
walk through a bunch of other stages, and if the music catches your ears, go to it.
Crowd control.
Yeah. I remember that one video EDC where Kinetic Field was playing some Sad Boys, and then it was so overcrowded to the point that you were trying to get into Kinetic Field, and then Wasteland was just blasting on the side.
You just hear Wasteland on the
Just
side.
hear it, like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is where crowd control comes in, but sometimes it's so hard to crowd control because once again, that's what Jason said. You have like 150,000 people on the circuit at one time. So if everyone wants to see Martin Garrix, or like you have 30 to 40,000 people want to see Martin Garrix, well, what can you do about that?
What
Right?
can you do about that?
You know those years when they have like rain and they're so annoying. On the main stage, everybody just like leaves and disperses. I don't know. I just want to say it's so annoying when you want to see someone and it's main stage and it's like raining and they shut everything down. Sad.
So yeah, like the one nice thing about EDC with the whole lineup and how it's diverse is that it's a great festival for exploring. Don't try to rush and see every set.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to prepare, like as what we talked about for Prida, we probably have to be there before, like an hour before the set to get a spot. There are other people like that too, like Martin Garrix, maybe Sarah Landry. It is a very great festival. It's Carnival. Explore.
Jason, do you think you've explored all of EDC at this point?
Even at this point, no.
I have not. I'm
It's
too
tough.
set focused.
It's tough to do.
Now that they changed the layout, it's even more.
It's going to be new again.
Yeah, it's
I'm going
gonna
to
be
walk
new.
in and be like, where am I?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they have something called Downtown EDC. And till this date, I don't even know what it looks like. I've never actually wandered to Downtown EDC.
Downtown EDC is pretty cool. We always try and at least check out the entire speedway on the first day, just for the first few hours.
Yeah.
I think apparently there's like I don't know, I forgot who said this, but there's like underground like secret location spots.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they have I always hear the midget mini bar one that
Yep.
always comes up that you need like
I've
a
been to the midget
passcode.
bar a couple times.
Yeah. Like it's
You
they
actually
have-
been to it?
What
Yeah.
was the passcode in previous years? What do they? Where
you have to do
find
something
it?
to get in. You can't just like walk.
So I
in.
don't know. Last year there wasn't a passcode. You just went right in. And
Okay.
it's just a couple midgets performing on,
Oh,
playing guitar,
actual, okay.
singing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting.
You also go in and they can give you a free shot, which is pretty cool.
Oh.
Downtown EDC has a lot of stuff though. There's like silent disco,
Yeah.
karaoke.
I've not seen any of that stuff.
Just prepare if you're in GA, just be prepared to wait. If you want to ride the Ferris wheel, be prepared to wait an hour.
Long time.
Yeah, if not more. During peak times, like it can be 3 hours for that wait.
What is a peak time? When do you-
11
like
p.m. because a lot of people want to wait until it's dark, so
Yeah.
that way they can go up and take a
See
video of the
everything,
entire
yeah.
of all the lights.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
And
peak
that's
time is like 11 to like I think I'll probably like
Midnight, yeah.
2,
Yeah.
2, 3, because the fireworks happen at 1:15,
Yep.
1:30. Whenever that transition happens, the headliners are usually the ones at 12 or 1:15. Those are the two headlining spots for any stage. So that's when the fireworks happen in between.
And there's a lot of fireworks.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of fireworks.
It might be one of the most fireworks, one of the biggest fireworks in the world, I want to say.
Mhm.
Definitely for sure.
That's a lot of fireworks, especially in Kinetic Field and also the other circuit grounds. So we'll talk a little bit about the stages, and then we come circle back to like the.
Oh, there's one thing we didn't mention, just the one other option, EDC Hotel.
Uh-huh.
So something new that was introduced last year when you guys went was EDC Hotel. So this is now a new option to pretty much have the Camp EDC experience on the strip. So essentially it's the same thing. Like you check in, you have your hotel just like a normal hotel, but they actually have dedicated day parties and activities. That's pretty much the entire EDC theme in the hotel. All the other hotels on the strip, they still cater to like other people. But this is like more like your own section of just EDC.
It's like
so,
EDC Resort.
So none of us have had experience. It is kind of pricey from what I've seen. It's we'll have like price information up on the screen. But it's a new option you can do, and they also have the Premier Shuttle right there too. So that's just we don't have experience on that, but it's something that they keep. They're improving from last year, from what I've seen.
I see. Oh yeah. Okay. So now circling back to the stages, we talked about Kinetic Field, circuit grounds, and some of the stages of like the new layout change. But we want to kind of describe what each stage does, right, in EDC. So Kinetic Field and circuit grounds is usually all the big names, the main headliners. You have like your John Summit, you have your Armin van Buuren, Martin Garrix, and those kind of like
Big room.
ones.
Yeah. It's essentially a 1A and 1B in terms
Yeah.
of main stage.
But
the bigger room artists usually ends up in Kinetic Field, whereas the the circuit grounds are the ones that are super hyped up for each specific genre. So like there was one year that Trance did, Ali and Fila was on circuit grounds, Zoo 2 years ago was in circuit grounds.
So one thing about circuit grounds, to add on to that, is that it's more also for the ones who want to bring their visuals or some sort of production.
it's more screens because
Yeah.
Kinetic Field is more
It's just a
EDC
stage.
decorated.
It's just the
Yeah.
EDC's
It's like
decorated.
the owl or like there's like a goddess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas like someone like I know Garrix is at Circuit Grounds, so he's gonna bring his own visuals. Eric Prid's Circuit Grounds, he's gonna do his own visuals, own lasers and all that. Like the Kinetic Field's just set up as like here's our main stage, which looks beautiful.
It's the one that closes the latest.
Yeah.
So like day 3, people usually end up at Kinetic Field at the
Yep.
very end. Yeah.
So next to Kinetic Field, we actually have Wasteland.
Which I'm gonna check out this year for a lot more. I've gotten into hardstyle a lot
Yeah.
more, so
So
I'm
Wasteland
excited.
is mainly hardstyle.
It's
right?
the harder
Yeah,
genre,
it's
happy
like-
hardcore.
We also have a speculation because there's been an uprising of hard techno this year, right? So would hard techno be in Wasteland or in Neon Garden?
That ended up being not true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ended up being not true. What they ended up doing, moving on, we're going from Wasteland to Neon Garden. Neon Garden is all house and techno, but what they ended up doing is they put all the hard techno on day 3.
Ah.
So all the hard techno for.
So I know where you are at day 3.
Well, I'm going to be running around quite a bit on day 3. I will say that.
I don't know about that.
Wastelands is usually like it literally looks like wastelands. Like it's like a lot of metal junk.
Yeah, it's like
decorated.
shipping containers everywhere.
Yeah.
But the one thing about EDC is like you have your kinetic field, you have your circuit ground main stage, you get the main stage crowd. The crowds at these smaller stages, considered smaller stages, are fantastic. If you want like the Wasteland crowd, you're there to listen to hardstyle. Everyone around there is listening to hardstyle.
Yeah.
So like
There's a lot of space in Wasteland.
Yeah.
And
Wasteland,
they
you're
all-
never going to be crammed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they all want to listen to our style, so you can always talk. You can always strike up a conversation.
You
and
want to
make
meet an
friends
Aussie? They're there.
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, Wasteland and Neon Garden is all like house and techno. I remember last year I parked myself at Neon Garden day 3 because that's the most energy that I can conjure myself. But I ended up still sitting on the ground. That's just how of a marathon EDC is. Then next to Wasteland there is BassPod. Right, BassPod.
Well, yeah, next to Wasteland, yeah.
Yeah, next to Wasteland is all BassPod. BassPod,
Which may be changing as what we talked about to a new location.
to a new location, probably like expanding more the footprint size because I think this year's lineup in DC has a lot of big names in bass.
Yep.
Right, there's Subtronics, there's Excision.
And a lot of those names are now on other stages too, especially with the resurgence of drum and bass. We have a couple of drum and bass artists at other stages, which usually they used to be just at BassPod. So
What other stages are they going to be?
So I know it's like Subfocus and Coven are going to be at Circuit Grounds,
Oh,
and then they have the Worship back to back
On the up,
Cosmic
on the
Meadow.
on Cosmic Meadow.
Wow.
So BassPod's getting some drum and bass, but like they're getting the headaches and the booze. But they're gonna have a lot more dubstep this year.
I think in terms of like the 3 main or big stages, I think I like Cosmic Meadow the best because it stretches out.
it stretches out
Yeah.
and it's
and you
pretty
could
too.
you could
You
sit
can
on
see
the
it from the
bleacher.
bleachers.
You can see it from
Oh,
bleachers.
yeah.
And also there's grass at Cosmic Meadow, so
Yeah.
it's a lot easier on the feet. too.
Yeah.
And Cosmic Meadow as a mix, I always label it as like more the trap stage, but
Yep.
like it's honestly like everything.
It's
I think
everything.
it's
It's a
the
mix
one
of
stage
stuff.
that's like
Yeah.
everything. The one reason why it's also coveted is it's the only place with proper seating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
Yeah,
when
yeah.
when it's when you are sitting on the bleachers at Cosmic Meadow, the bleachers seats are metal, so it's actually cool, like cold, and you can sit on it, and it cools your body down a lot.
And it's the one place where you actually have some reception. You can get some reception.
Yeah. Because it's elevated on the ground. It's
I
elevated.
heard quick intercept. I heard the reception's better.
Yeah, so actually
now.
last year we were really surprised at this.
Yeah.
It turned out if you were on Verizon, you basically had
Yeah.
service the whole time.
You have to choose specific. So as Canadians, if you have, I don't know with Androids, if you have an iPhone, you could choose your own cellular provider in the States.
You can, but
Yeah.
a lot of people, if you use one of those data plans, you just have to make sure that it's Verizon enabled, right? So like a lot of people now, it's the cheapest option instead of roaming. You just if you're using like a
I'm
Canadian,
roaming.
like
Yeah.
I have a Canada US plan, so I'm just gonna roam. I can choose whatever network I want
Yeah.
in the States.
Yeah.
But
roaming.
a lot of people, if you do like the data plans,
Like Airalo or something.
yeah, Air Allo, you have to select whichever one's approved. So just make sure if Verizon's like as what Jason's saying, is Verizon's the one that's the main
Yeah.
sponsor, choose Verizon.
Yeah, but now everyone hears Verizon is going to be open and everybody's going to jump on it and it's going to clog up
No
the
service
network.
again.
Yeah. So anyway, just shop around and whenever service is available, use it. And make sure when you
We
send your
used to-
text send your text messages, put your timestamp at
was
the
just
end of the
gonna say,
message
yep.
so that everybody can kind of cross-reference when you sent it because sometimes you don't even send out the message until 3 hours later.
Yep.
Yeah, the coveted "Where are you?" Just put a timestamp.
Where
at the
are
end,
you?
Yeah.
So that if I read it
12:50.
3 hours later, I know to ignore it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's too late.
Yeah.
Actually, people have done this historically. I don't know in recent years, but I've tried using walkie-talkies, but
It doesn't work.
It doesn't
it's
work,
really hard
and-
because people are on the same
And
channels.
there's this new thing that I saw, which was like a compass, the mesh compass.
Yeah, I've seen
But
that.
I think it uses like an internal network of like other compasses to like locate it. They're kind of prepping for EDC. I saw some people jump on it, but once again, unproven. There's
Unproven.
really been no proven way to
No,
do it
no.
unless you get on the Wi-Fi from a medical person. And there are some. I've known someone to get on it if you go to the med tent, but it's like very inconsistent.
Yeah, I've never gotten on Wi-Fi there.
Yeah.
Because you never made it to medical
Yeah.
tech.
Yeah, you gotta go to medical tech.
Strong that
Thankfully,
way.
thankfully.
Built different.
So back to Quantum Valley, right?
Yeah.
Quantum
Yeah.
Valley.
Wait. So
you want
did-
to
did-
sort of discuss how to meet people? meet up with people, like how to, or
So so I guess
since we're on the topic already.
So honestly, there's one thing EDC is known for. If you ever seen videos, is totems.
yeah,
A lot of people have totems, cool design totems. Now, if you make a totem, you also want to make sure you can see it, because we had a totem in 2021, but we didn't have LEDs on it. So in the end, when you're looking in the distance for this totem, it was practically useless because it's just like you couldn't even tell where the image was. Having LEDs on a totem is good. Some people use flags. Flags are really good.
Flags are very good, yeah.
The only festival where like flags are very encouraged.
Look for our podcast flag this year, because both me and Christine will be rocking it around.
It's funny because like how people walk in through security with like flag poles is essentially like a train of people. They just carry this pole and they just walk right through security.
It's like a pilgrimage.
Yeah.
But honestly, what I found is the best is just set up a meetup spot.
Yeah.
So-
When the map
Yeah.
releases, there's certain locations
Like the Ferris wheel or
Yeah.
like any monument, like under the Daisy Lane.
Yeah.
You set up like multiple times, maybe like every 2 hours, and then you give like a 15-minute grace period
Yep.
because some people tend to stay at stages longer, or they end up on the other side of the venue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or they have water breaks and toilet breaks too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely look at the map. The map's really detailed. We don't know the map for this year, but it should be very detailed. Choose a spot that looks good. When you guys get there, and as what Jason said, honestly, the best thing you can do on day one, arrive as a
around.
group and just walk around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? Don't plan to see any sets for like an hour or two. Just walk around as a group, get used to the EDC experience. And while you're there, take a look at the meetup spot you pre-set up, and then iron that out because we found the meetup spots were clutch. Like just like everyone knows to be here at this time. You give a 10-minute grace. We gave 10-minute grace period. So 10 minutes before, and honestly, I think we only gave like 5 minutes after because of total of 15 minutes.
Yep.
And if you weren't there, then we just left.
So, like, you know, if you want to do the walk around, I think it's good because sometimes, like, I want to say, like, an ideal time to leave, you get there a little early, per se, for some sets. Please try, if you're not doing shuttle, please try not to leave past, like, 5:30 p.m. Because if you leave 6-ish, you'll be stuck in that, like, really long traffic line, and then you'll probably end up getting in at 8-9 p.m. at least. I've gotten in at 10 p.m. before because of that.
Yeah, so just to add on what Sonny said, like when you're walking around and you pinpoint where you want to meet up, you know which spot you're actually meeting up. So like you said, if it is like Flower Tower, it needs to be here. This point of Flower Tower.
Exactly, the point. Don't
Don't
say
say
meet
Flower
up
Tower.
here.
Yeah. So don't say meet up here. We say the point when you walk around, you say that this is the spot where we say to meet up, and then the Ferris wheel, yada yada yada, and you know that circle, the little hollow thing, the circle thing when you walk through.
Yep.
Last year we did a meetup point there.
Bruh.
Nobody knew which ring it was, whether it was
Yeah,
the start
'cause
of
it
the
was
ring,
huge.
whether it was
And
it
you
was
have, like,
long.
And it's
hundreds of
crowded.
people around
Yeah.
you.
So many
So-
people
yeah.
also trying to meet up
Also,
too.
there's 2 Ferris wheels, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, my suggestion is do not meet up at the Flower Tower because it's very, very hot whenever the fire just bursts out. Oh my God.
Yeah. The other tip I have is last year we actually did lockers for the first time, and we found the locker to be the best meetup spot because
much
people
was it?
know 100 USD
Okay,
for all
and
3
you,
days.
you split it with how many?
You split it with
yeah.
however many people that need to
Yeah.
use it, and it's
Yeah.
pretty big. Not everyone's going to need to stuff everything in there,
Is it
but
like
it's
a
good.
full size or like a?
It's like full size going like this way, I guess.
Yeah, going
Oh,
deep,
it's like
yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
It's like coffin shaped, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like coffee shit.
Was there a charger in the locker?
No, there was not a
No.
charger. How many people did we split it with? 6 people or 4?
Yeah, it was around 4 to
That's
6.
pretty
Yeah. So I split it with Jason, and the locker meetup spot was a clutch.
Yeah, because everybody knows the locker that you're at,
yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah, so which addition to the point where it is a point where you need to meet up, not the
Yeah.
spot where you meet up. Yeah. So
Yeah, those are our best tips for like meeting up. What about something like merch? Have you guys ever gotten merch at EDC?
Yeah, so here's...
Yeah, I had a bad experience with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know Benny can give his story about 3-hour line for merch. I know back in 2022, I think on the first day, because it was so cold on that first night, the merch line was rammed, and some of my friends also waited for 3 hours just because they wanted to get a sweater because they were so cold.
Yeah.
So I know Benny's mentioned this story before.
Yeah.
We'll let him tell it, but I just want to say one thing about merch. If you're looking at getting merch, from my experience,
Go to
Unfortunately,
the hotel ones.
the hotel.
So
The one on the strip.
So EDC has set up merch rooms, a room or two in specific hotels. Maybe this year it's probably at the resort. Gotta check that out. But they open at like 9 a.m. And I remember one year Millennium had like a special EDC jersey.
Oh, I remember that. My friend waited.
Yeah. It was like people went in early, but then I recommend going to that one because it's actually like a conference exhibition. You just walk around, and if there's no like limited jersey launches, then like it's pretty free for you to roam around. Don't go to the ones at the actual festival. It's actually like stupid.
There's actually like the one strategy, and this is the worst strategy, but like it's the only one. Get there early before the gates open, so you're at Cosmic Meadow, and literally sprint to the merch tent. That is your best time to save at least like get in a half an hour.
I did exactly that.
I actually tried doing that, and then I couldn't
was
be bothered. I didn't wait in line. I'm like, fuck this.
Oh, there was a line.
Yeah, there was already a line.
There was already a line.
There was already a line.
Holy.
And then it made no sense, too, the way they had it laid out. You didn't know if you were moving or not. So I just said, screw it. I've never bought merch at EDC. Another one is if you wait later in the day, like near closing time, it is maybe like an hour you may have to wait, maybe less. So that is an option.
But you might not get what you want.
You might not get what you want.
Yeah, they do sell out. So
Yeah.
last year, on the first day, as soon as we got in, we ran to the merch line and we waited maybe about an hour in line, which we were okay with.
And Benny, how long did you wait?
I waited about 3 hours. So I got to the line. I'm like, okay, I'll stand in the line. I stood in line for an hour.
He got
and then-
too deep.
And then an hour in, I'm like, dude, I'm already here for an hour. I can't just waste this hour. So I had to stay another hour. And then after that hour, I'm like, dude, I'm already here for 2 hours. I have.
You
to
already
go.
committed.
I have to commit. I can't just leave empty-handed. And then it's not so okay. It was pretty bad, but at least I was in the center of the line, and then I was shielded because it was
warm.
it was warm, right?
What did you buy and how much was it?
I bought a sweater. It was like $100 and something bucks.
So $100 plus like
3
how many
hours.
hours you're paid
Yeah.
each hour for your actual job.
And it was the worst thing was I really needed to go to the bathroom too. That whole time I was standing in line like, oh,
Did you have a
no, I
water
gotta use
bottle?
the bathroom. I was no, I didn't bring a water bottle, but I was considering just whipping it out and just peeing on the side.
I mean,
Yeah.
it hasn't. It's not
There's
like
been
you-
worse things that
yeah.
happened at
Yeah,
EDC, so
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know why, but every year I've gone to EDC, I've been mostly with noobs. And like, yeah, in 2022, my friends waited for 2 hours. I forgot it was day 1, day 2, but it was probably one of those days. I just left them. I went to Art Car. Like, I saw Yatep, and I was just jamming. I came back. They were still in line. So,
Yeah, I just honestly, even this year, I probably won't even bother.
Yeah,
I just
don't bother
I
with
do
the
want
merch line.
EDC merch. EDC, some of the merch like the Pashmina that we saw. Honestly, this year I might just premium shuttle whatever they give me. I'm like, oh, this is good enough.
personally, I'm not a fan of festival branded merch other than like I have one patch from Lost Lands and I bought it because the quality was good and like the design was good. But other than that, like you have these like black shirts with whatever EDC theme is like the year, and then it's just like
I think
Yeah.
like something like a hat's a cool souvenir, but it's just like the effort. This is an EDC problem. The time it takes to get it is not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's-
my problem,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're paying for a festival like EDC, which is already expensive as is, and you're waiting. Unfortunately, Benny, you waited 3 hours.
Yeah, I waited
that's
3
like
hours.
that
That's
like-
3 sets.
was it
Yeah.
sweater?
It's a sweater.
That sweater was $200 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Not worth it. Don't
But
recommend.
here's the thing though, like when I was I didn't line up for a merch line, but by day 2, day 3, you have a relatively empty merch line.
But then you also lose out on stock.
You lose out on stock, but
Extra
then
large.
yeah, but the thing is that like if you are buying like Pash and whatnot, you don't really need size. But
But
Yes.
Pash can run out.
yeah, Pash can
Yeah.
run out.
Is
yeah.
there only one merch tent?
No, there's like 2, right?
yeah, there's 2.
There's one main one. There's another one I think in downtown EDC or something like that. I don't know. They need to sort that out. It's always been a problem.
Yeah, if you have time, I think it opens on Thursday, not sure, but if you have time, just go Friday morning to one of the hotel
If they
ones.
host it, I don't know if
Yeah.
they did last year though. I don't recall ever seeing that.
Yeah.
I know the 2019 year or the 2022 year they had it,
2019 and 2022.
and they had it. I don't know if they had it last year. I don't know.
Yeah. So we say that it is a carnival. It says in the name EDC. There's a whole bunch of main stages, and there's also a lot of small little things that you can see around EDC. One of them is art cars.
Yeah. Art
So
cars.
what are art cars?
So there's like at least like 5 art cars. It's pretty much like a mini stage, like a smaller stage. Some of them don't actually move around. I think there's like 3 of them who move around a little bit. But essentially, think of it as like a DJ on top of a bus, just DJing it to a crowd. Yeah. It's kind of cool.
And usually these DJs are up and coming, right?
Some of them could be up and coming. Some of them could be like some of the takeovers are actually artists on the lineup who do like another set, right? Or they do like something special. Like Slander last year did their Before Dawn set, I think on an art car, right?
Yeah.
They weren't actually, I don't think if they were on the lineup announced, some of these even might not be announced artists. They just get added onto this art car. So we don't know the art car lineup yet, but
Slander also did a techno.
Yeah, that's where they did it.
That's what it says what's called.
Before Dawn.
Yep.
Before Dawn, yeah.
So
do you think Manzon and Strong will make it to our car?
Maybe if Vel does art
maybe
cars.
if Vel does art cars,
exactly.
maybe Vel does art cars, then.
So do you think any of the local residency will do art cars as well? That you know?
Local residencies are big.
Yeah.
They're like Elenium. Definitely won't do an art car. Like he'll need 10 art cars. Yeah.
So actually, in 2021, when I did camp, Elenium did do an art car. It was a
Wait,
surprise
what?
set.
Oh, I remember
and it
that.
was so
I remember that.
packed.
I heard about that.
People were literally scared because it was so rammed. Like Elenium needs to be on kinetic field, and that's where EDC always puts him now.
Yeah.
But in 2021, it was a surprise set at an art car, and the entire festival was there. It was really bad.
Yeah, I heard about that. It's like when also I think in 2019 when Skrillex had that surprise set too.
Yep.
I remember I tried. I heard about it late. I'm like, okay, I'll go like 20 minutes before he starts. Couldn't even get into circuit grounds. Could not even get in. So like this ties back into anything. If you have an artist you're dying to see and you know it's gonna be busy, plan to be there the set before.
Yeah.
Circuit grounds is a type of stage where when it gets crowded, it's like spewing out of the stage.
Yeah.
Like, because Cosmic Meadow and Kinetic Field can actually hold the crowd, and then Cosmic Meadow, like, you have the bleachers and everything's spread out, but like literally Circuit grounds, you spew out of the stage.
Yeah, because like Kinetic Field is 3 entrances, like 2 on the side and 1 straight in the middle, right? And then for Circuit grounds, it's like a cone shape. Yeah. So everyone tries to enter it. Here's the thing about EDC. For people who goes to EDC, the majority of the audience is where the exit is. If you manage to punch through that,
like any festival,
you run an Asian train or whatever, right? If you manage to punch through that entrance, you will find that there's a lot of space towards the near the stage. Yeah. But you have to punch through.
Yeah. And that's always been my experience, like especially at circuit grounds. If you're at the back and you see it's really crowded, you'll think, oh, I can't make it anymore. Yeah. If you just keep pushing through, if you're in the center, or even to the sides, there's a lot of space in circuit grounds.
You just have to keep pushing.
Unless you're Skrillex.
My group
was battle over.
My group did the punch through for circuit grounds of 2022. I think it was like Excision or Seven Lions. Yeah, like it was like a whole barrier at the very front, and then we just like 20 of us went in.
Once again, our episode on Plur Vibes applies to EDC. Please spread Plur
It was
vibes.
A Plur punch through.
Yeah, like please say excuse me.
There's an excuse me and there's a sorry and whatnot, but it's a punch through.
Yeah.
But here, the last year we went for Martin Garrix's set at Kinetic Field. The entrance where the arch is, like there was only like 1 lane going.
That's how Elenium was too for us. Like it's funny. It's just like we a funny story. We all met up to go to Elenium in 2022, and we let our one friend lead. And in my eyes, I'm watching. I'm like, oh yeah, we're not still. Like he was like zooming ahead, and in my eyes, I'm like, yeah, we're not gonna be together. Like the entire group just like disappeared in the crowd. Because like literally thousands of bodies just like trying to keep together. And then when we got to the kinetic field, you just see all this herds of body at Elenium, and we're just like. Half the group was like gone. We have no idea where people were.
It's pretty crazy. Well, like once you walk into the crowd and then you're not linking arms or anything. You turn around and all your friends are gone. They're gone. You're like, holy smoke, they're just gone.
So 2022, I actually bumped into some friends, lost their whole group, like a couple, and like there was a couple, and then we just adopted them for the whole set. Like you tend to bump into people, even though there's like a lot of people at the festival. But yeah, like be prepared to be lost.
Yeah, if you're lost, don't panic. Roam around.
It's still a fun time.
It's still a fun time. Yeah.
Because we took an 18-year-old 18-year-old to the 2022 one. We lost him and we were so scared because like he was the youngest one there. But then he came back hours later at our meetup spot and he was like full of candy all over his arms, and he was like, and then later on he asked us for permission to leave again.
Yeah. It's all about those side quests.
EDC is the best for side quests.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. I literally like it's always great to go with a group. I always love seeing a set with a group, but honestly, everyone's EDC is for themselves.
Yeah.
Explore it how you want.
Explore how you want.
Right? If
So-
you want to see a set that no one else wants to see, just go do it.
Yeah.
Just go do it.
Yeah.
And don't panic. Just have fun. Talk to the people, random people. They are very, very friendly. If you want to go to see the set that you want to see, and everybody else is there to also see that person, so you always have something common to talk about.
Yeah.
And once again, Carnival, you'll see a bunch of things. One thing that's cool that I don't know if anyone has ever experienced. EDC does weddings.
Yep,
Oh,
they
yeah.
do weddings.
So they do
EDC
weddings.
wedding,
Where you could see that too. Like you can go to the chapel and see like an actual EDC.
It's all in
wedding.
downtown EDC.
Yeah. So like downtown EDC.
Don't know where that is.
Well, maybe this year we'll find. Maybe we set up a meetup spot
Yeah.
in downtown
Yeah.
EDC.
Yeah. The
That's
podcast
that's a move. bro.
That's a move.
podcast goes to downtown.
Yeah, the podcast goes to downtown. But yeah, it's
It'll be your first time checking out downtown
EDC, and I'm doing it with my podcast co-host. So it's very good. But yeah, they have weddings there too, and it's like obviously we don't have the info on. You obviously probably have to contact Insomniac get it approved. It might be too late now, but it's if you're ever thinking about doing EDC wedding, it is something you can do. So it's something kind of cool. Is there anything else we want to talk about with regards to the layout?
Not much actually, but maybe the differences between the VIP and GA Plus and also GA.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for the tickets.
For the ticket passes, I got GA. I'm actually wearing my last year's EDC pass right here. It's purple. I do not know what color they're gonna do this year.
Oh yeah, none of us know.
But so GA is regular. You get to go to normal washrooms. There are different types of washrooms for different
GA.
parts of the
GA Plus gets different bathrooms.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and also like different parts of the layout festival grounds, you get different types of washroom because like some of like for guys, some washrooms have the urinal stands.
Yep.
And some parts of the washroom do not have that, right?
I've
So
seen
you only get a porta potty.
I've seen what I've thought was a female there.
Oh.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was I was not sober, so it was like, what am I looking at?
No. But yeah, so GA Plus you get different washrooms. I think that's just the other perk, right? I have a friend.
I think
that-
there's like entrance two separate entrance.
Yeah.
It's something small. It's like,
Yeah.
but I think it's like what, like $200-$300 increase in price.
Yeah. And one thing about like GA Plus washrooms, if you see a line, just go to another GA Plus washroom because the reason why there is a line is because they check it at the door whether you
Yep.
have GA Plus or
Yep.
not.
They'll check your wristband.
Yeah,
If
they'll
you
check
don't
it.
have it.
Yeah, they don't
won't
have
let
it.
you in.
Yeah,
Oh, so
exactly.
have people snuck in? Like you guys have snuck
Yeah,
in?
people have snuck in.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
It really depends on the security that's working.
So
that
is it cleaner?
I do
Have you
not.
guys-
I don't know, but I assume it's
used it.
better
Right.
because if you had to pay.
Unless everyone has GA Plus in that thing, and then the volume is just, you can't keep up with the volume.
Yeah,
amount of
but
people
I
go
don't
back.
think it can get worse than the.
No, it can't get worse
Can't
than
get
that.
worse than the
So,
regular EDC.
As with
bathroom.
anything, we're gonna assume it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just
And
gonna assume.
VIP?
So VIP.
Has anyone done VIP here?
I haven't done VIP
No,
yet.
I haven't either.
But I think VIP they give you special entrance to each stage. There is a spot where you can actually go there only if you have VIP.
Yep.
So like for Quantum Valley it's on the side, and then for Kinetic Field it's like you can walk up the steps to like a platform, right? Those are bottle services, right?
Yep.
I'm
I think
not
at
sure.
Kinetic Field, that's the Sky Deck.
Yeah.
So bottle
It
service.
is bottle service, yeah. And the bunch of stages have different entrances for VIP. So I have never gotten VIP, so I do not know where these entrances are. Some of my friends have gotten them, and they tell me to go to that spot, which is Quantum Valley. That's how I know, because I was like there the whole day too.
Yeah, you have separate enemies. I know VIP has their own Ferris wheel.
Does-
Definitely shorter
Yeah.
wait line.
Does GA Plus have lounges too?
No.
I don't think so. Only VIP does.
Do they have special bars?
No, I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
Oh,
I think
okay.
GA Plus really the real perk is
It's just a bathroom.
bathroom and like entrance, separate entrance for quicker entrance.
Yeah. So in my opinion, I find like if you're gonna do something, you should just spend more on VIP or just stick with GA because GA Plus I find you don't get much
How
value
much
out
is
of
it
it.
Well, I mean, you're a guy, so you go in, pee,
Yeah.
and leave. But for girls, it might be different.
No, I have a big bladder. Like literal like TMI, like for one EDC I need to go to the washroom once or max twice. So, and that's like a full maybe like 9-10 hour type of thing. So I do not need it.
It must be nice.
That's a superpower right
That's a
there.
superpower.
That's a superpower.
Yeah. So I know with VIP perks, I know like I think I heard there's Wi-Fi there. I heard there's Wi-Fi in some of the VIP areas. They have separate bars.
Wouldn't know.
Yeah, we wouldn't know.
Yeah,
No,
I
no,
wouldn't
no,
know,
on the
yeah.
panel, no.
Wouldn't know yet.
But as what Jason said, it's right on the money. You're like, if you're gonna, I would personally say you either do VIP or GA. I think
No in
GA
between.
plus for the bathrooms. I don't know.
Yeah.
With a festival like EDC,
Like
the
how-
bathrooms
yeah.
are pretty bad. Anyway.
How much are you gonna
bathrooms are
save?
bad.
You're gonna save time in the washroom line, but you come out and your friends are GA, and you're still gonna have to wait for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Essentially.
true. But like I think for girls, you kind of want to get the GA plus is because like you're sharing other porta potties with all the other GA. I've seen some of the porta potties
Dude,
in
the
GA.
porta potty
Oh yeah.
next to the Neon Garden, so bad.
Oh yeah, it's actually
It's
dangerous.
so bad.
It is dangerous to the funnel. Sometimes
Yeah,
they have
Just
the-
getting in and out of that bathroom is
like
really
you're
bad.
literally like this, and with
I wanna
we'll
gag.
talk about it
Yeah.
near the end, but like with
But
Just thinking
yeah,
about it
yeah.
is just like a
Yeah.
disturbing.
Here's the thing
image,
about
man.
the
It's
Neon
bad.
Gardens bathroom situation. Like it's so close to Neon Garden. If you are standing at the edge of the Neon Garden, you can actually smell.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
actually smell from the bathroom like how nasty.
but
it is.
Neon's being moved, so we don't know
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, we do
Yeah.
not know yet. We
Maybe
do not know
it's being-
yet. So I think like if you are a little bit conscious about your hygiene on which porta potty and whatnot, I think it's wise to spend a little bit of money on the GA plus. I have friends that go through that, even though you have to wait for the other GA members to be finished bathroom, but at least you have your own.
And I'm sure
Fresh air.
Fresh
there's
air, yeah.
like toilet paper in there too, because there's probably no toilet paper in the.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bring your own wipes always for any festivals. Bring your own
wipes.
Yeah,
wipes.
bring
we're
your
gonna
own
have
tissue.
tips. We're gonna have tips at the end
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
what to close off the
Yeah.
episode. But
and what to bring.
yeah, what to bring. One other thing. So yeah, that's I think that's about
What's the
ticketing.
price for VIP?
It's actually quite expensive. It's like 1,200.
Yeah, I think it's double or more than double. The GA
Yeah,
price,
yeah.
Personally, I don't think it's worth it unless your whole group gets VIP and you want some downtime in the like specific areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well use it for EDC week in the pool
That's
parties.
Yeah.
So one of the things happened during we talked about it early in the episode, but during the flight times is EDC week. It's not as good as Miami Music Week, I will say, in terms of like multiple events.
Yeah.
But EDC week happens from like Wednesday to Monday, and all the clubs host events. All the pool parties have daytime parties, even during EDC weekend. Now during EDC weekend, you got to be kind of crazy to do a pool party.
And
I
then
did
to
that.
EDC.
Yeah.
It's
I did
it's
that.
pretty rough. I know Camp EDC they have it, but like to dedicate time to a pool party, you gotta show up at like 1, and then it's done at like 5, and then you get ready for EDC. It's kind
But
of
camp is different because it's all right there.
It's all
Yeah,
right
it's
there,
right
so you
there.
can leave. You can show up for one set and leave. Whereas if you go to like say this year, I'm doing the Eric Prids one on Saturday.
Where's it?
It's at Marquee.
Ooh, okay.
So but like essentially, I have to go to EDC, sleep for like 4 or 5 hours, wake up, go to this pool party, and then get ready to go back to EDC.
That just sounds brutal.
I did Porter Robinson Day 1, 2022 at Wet Republic. I basically got sauced by like 3-4 p.m. and then busted my foot at the pool party, so it was like scabbed left, right, and center, and somebody had to piggyback me onto an Uber, and I started day 1 like that, and all 3 days I had a busted foot, and we walked 20 minutes to our car and back every single day, and I was like limping for the whole festival.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's
You
rough.
you kind of threw a curveball there because I thought that if you do pool party on the first day, right, then it's sort of okay because you still have all this energy, right? You fly in and do it.
Yeah, but
But
do
like-
it Thursday.
Yeah, but the thing is
then-
that she threw a curveball saying that,
Yeah.
I have a busted foot, and now
Yeah.
like, we can have the sympathies on that
Yeah.
too.
So for anyone going to EDC, I would say pool party is actually worth it. If you get there on the Wednesday or Thursday, try to do like a Thursday afternoon pool party.
Yep.
They're actually kind of fun.
Mhm.
it is kind of packed, but honestly,
you
the
can
pool party
afford it.
vibes- if you can afford it too.
I-
drinks
get
are
table
like
service,
25
please.
bucks, too.
So
Yeah.
the drinks, once again, if you do like booth or anything, just
They
expect
have
to
very
pay Vegas
pricey,
prices. Vegas unfortunately also has the gender prices. So
Yeah, I got the gendered half price. Okay.
and they also, so another thing is that you can reach out to a promoter and technically get in
Yeah.
for free. But with pool parties, they want you to have equal ratios, if not more, of girls to guys. Sorry.
So where to find promoters? Go on TikTok, and then go on TikTok, and then they'll like drop their Instagram handles, and then look at their Instagram handles to see if they're reputable. So
Yeah.
Mm.
And then you could potentially go for free, but just note that even for the clubs, you can go for free on guest list.
Yeah, I
but
got,
be
like-
prepared to
yeah.
wait in line.
you could get
Yep,
like
they
free.
want you to go early.
Yeah, you could get like a free drink ticket if you are identifying as female, and then for guys it's 150, like 100, 150.
Yeah.
I remember Elenium, like all the girls got in for free with a drink ticket, and all the guys had to pay like over $100. So yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing, don't make my mistake for clubs in Vegas. For guys, is actually formal wear,
Formal dress code.
formal dress code. So
Yeah,
I only
that does
brought.
not get lax.
Yeah.
So if
I
you're going
only
to
brought
places like Omnia or somewhere, like you have to wear a button-up shirt.
You have to wear a button
pants.
up, like a blazer and everything, because I went to EDC. I brought sweats, and anyway, we didn't even make it to a club because it was just so dead tired.
Yeah, I'm of the personal opinion of doing the night parties is not really worth it during EDC week. It's just because it's so busy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like even it's
Omnia, horrible.
It-
Yeah,
It's,
Omnia, I can't do it again.
it's all booth focused too. So if you have a booth, great time. Don't get me wrong.
booth, only booth.
Only booth. Even at the bars, you're paying like $50 for a drink.
Yeah, so you might as well pay for the booth.
Yeah,
'Cause-
like essentially.
You pay 2 drinks, heavyweight, you won't get sauced, like, or you won't get even like tipsy lit, like, and then you're standing sardines in the crowd.
Yeah.
But there are events. So one thing I know you're doing the Lost in Dreams pool party, and we're looking at doing Dream State.
Dream State pre-party.
So they
yes.
do have dedicated pre-parties in like that we're all used to in normal parking lots and normal venues. So definitely check those out. They are a vibe. especially-
Area 15.
Area 15
Yeah.
for the Dream State one. The Lost in Dream ones is the night swim at
Excess? Is
at
it?
Encore.
I think so.
At Encore. And then they also have downtown at the World. What was it
World
called?
Pavilion?
No, the downtown lot centers. I think what they call it.
It looks like my Ultra, right? Like
Yeah, it's like open and everything, and they have some cool parties there. Definitely worth checking out. But honestly, for a festival like EDC, EDC is the focus. So if you need the energy, just focus on EDC.
Save it, yeah.
Yeah,
if you
save it
don't-
for ADC.
Yeah, if you don't have bottle service, I highly do not recommend Elenium at Omnia. You're gonna be squished.
Yeah. I'm on the opinion like Armin, anyone like that. Just honestly, it's not worth it to go into a club. Just not.
So for everyone who's listening, if you don't make it to pool parties or the after parties at clubs and whatnot, don't worry. Like Sonny said, EDC is the focus. Essentially, if you do all 3 days just EDC, you're gonna have a great time.
Or you could explore the strip, their shows,
the shows,
the
but,
buffets. Yeah.
but that one's like your own other time. But like for EDC itself, it's worth it. Speaking of like worth it, they also have a drone show aside from lots of fireworks. Have you guys seen the drone show? I didn't really
Seen it
catch.
Yep,
Seen it
I've
twice,
seen it
twice,
now.
twice.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it last year. Maybe I was just too into hard
Looking
techno on the
somewhere
day 3.
else.
Yeah, it really depends. So if you're unfortunate with the old layout, if you're at Neon Garden or Quantum, you ain't seeing shit.
Yeah, you're not seeing.
You're not
yeah,
seeing
because-
shit with the
yeah,
with the way it is.
Because day 2 I was at Quantum and day 3 I was at Neon Garden, so I didn't even know that there was a drone show.
If you're at Circuit Grounds, you will see it. If you're at Kinetic, obviously you'll see
see
it.
it.
Base Pod, you'll see it. I remember the first time I saw it. I think they did it in 2021 the first time.
Yep.
And I think I was at Base Pod, and then to my left I saw it. I'm just like, oh, cool. And everyone is funny. I think
People chase it.
it was a back-to-back I was watching. I know Keizo was playing. I forget who we did back-to-back with. And then literally everyone's just turned left. Not even looking at the stage. Everyone's just turned left looking at the drone show. It was kind of cool. And then 2022 had it too. And I don't know, how'd they do for 2023?
Did you see?
Yeah,
2023?
they had it again. Yeah.
They did it?
Yeah.
Where was it?
I think same spot. Like you have to be at one of like the bigger, more open stages,
Mm-hmm.
and then you kind of just look up
So
and then
cosmic.
look away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as what we talked about, it's near the fireworks time. So prime time at EDC is 12 to like 2 a.m. or something like
12
that.
to 2 at the bleachers, midsection,
Yeah,
right
if you
in front
want
of
a
Cosmic.
great, if you want to see the
Yeah.
experience fireworks, definitely check it at Cosmic Meadow at the bleachers. Those are where the headliners are. So also, if you want to see the drone show, just be prepared if you be at one of the bigger stages to see it.
Yeah. So if you want to see like proper fireworks within the stage, go for a headliner in one of the 2 big stages, right? Then you get to see it. Because I saw Above and Beyond Day 2 at Circuit Grounds, and it was raining as predicted.
Yeah.
Every
Where's the
time.
sun and moon?
Yeah. For Sun and Moon, it was raining. For Above and Beyond, it's foretold every time. And then there was fireworks on top of that. So the whole experience was just good.
Crying.
It was like, yeah, I was not crying, but like,
You don't know if
He was
you
emotional.
yeah, I was emotional, but I
holding the
didn't
tears back.
I didn't go through it. I didn't go through
No,
the
if you're
cry
crying,
process.
no one would know.
Yeah.
Who will know?
So
You mean you weren't going through your finances when the fireworks are going on?
yeah.
It's like, how am I going to afford all
Having
this?
that midlife crisis.
Yeah, maybe. But because the thing is that it happened everything like all at once, right? We go through for Above and Beyond. It was my first time seeing Above and Beyond, and then it rained, so it cooled down the body a lot, and then
then
once you
you're
see the
shivering.
fireworks and just in euphoric. Right?
It's a different experience.
It's
Everyone
a different experience.
definitely take in the moment when you see the fireworks.
Yeah.
It's. I know we're talking about fireworks, but seeing fireworks at EDC with your friends,
Yeah,
especially
it's something
people-
else.
Bring
Yeah,
a poncho
something-
just in case.
It's something else. It honestly could bring a tear to your eye,
Yeah.
depending on who you are. It's just a
And put the
surreal-
pashmina over your head.
It's a surreal.
Sunglasses on.
It's a surreal moment.
Yeah. So tips to make it to sunrise. How'd you
Prepare
guys
now.
do?
Yeah.
Prepare now. Start walking around the
Start
city.
Two
getting those
shows
steps
a
in.
night.
Don't follow Sonny's footsteps.
Honestly, just know you're gonna leave at 6 a.m. Like
yeah.
not like, oh, maybe I'll leave at 4. No, you're leaving at 6
Yeah.
a.m.
You just have to power through it, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And once again, people will be on vitamins. People will take vitamins. Be responsible. If you're not one who partakes in vitamins,
Energy drinks.
classic coffee.
But be prepared to pay for that pricing, $15 to $20.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Expect festival pricing all the way inside. Also, if you're an international, make sure you bring your passport.
Yeah.
For
Yep.
for drinks. A lot of times to get in, we didn't talk about this earlier, but just have your. I know I've gotten into EDC with just my driver's license before, but I've never actually bought drinks inside EDC.
I always bring my passport.
Yeah,
But
I always bring my passport.
nowadays I would just, especially with how far you away from the strip, unless you're camping, just bring your passport. Just have it in a protective case, lodged deep in, or as what Jason and them did, like a locker, right? Like put it in a locker
Yep.
and just keep it there for the entire weekend.
And put it inside a Ziploc bag so that it's waterproof.
Yep.
Exactly.
Because you will sweat at EDC.
And it might rain too. You never know.
Yeah, and it might rain too. Yes.
But in terms of tips, just start training now. We've talked about it
Training.
in the recovery episode last week. All that applies to EDC. Prepare beforehand. I said my DGen strategy that I said two shows a night. Not really. It's not really wise. Just,
not really
just
wise.
just be prepared. Don't do
Yeah.
an EDC every weekend because then you won't be actually prepared for EDC.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there's always those rest areas, right? So take a short break. Don't be there for too long, or don't knock out.
Bleachers.
Yeah,
bleachers.
always
That's
take
what
a
we
break.
said.
Always take a
Bleachers.
break. If you feel tired, take a break.
There's always the med tent as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
There's plenty of places you can just chill at the back and listen to a set.
Yeah.
The general crowd is pretty plura at EDC because it's like very
Yep.
staple. So we're good.
Yeah.
On the topic of water and drinking, you guys want to talk about your hydrated, keeping hydrated?
Well, one of the things in a recovery, like liquid IV, getting those little packs, getting electrolytes,
Throwing
like
it
Mio.
into the package.
Yeah, like getting Mio. Once again, they have water refill stations, so Camelbacks and all that. Just make sure you have electrolytes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
because-
think all of us we all bring
Camelback, yeah.
Camelback.
Yeah.
So mine.
We can
Mine-
all just
Yeah,
show
well,
it.
we'll just show it.
But
Let's
before-
show it here.
Before we show it, right, we kind of want to talk about a little bit of a water station. It's kind of like a huge discussion in EDC.
It's not that bad.
I thought it was so bad, dude. I could not drink it.
Which year did you go?
Water in general?
Yeah,
Like the water
the
you didn't
water.
like.
I could not drink it.
Dasani?
No, just the water fountains. Like
No,
2022, I could not. I was like,
Really?
dude, no way. I filled it once. I drank a little sip. I'm like, no way.
Honestly, I've said this before. Going to a festival is like going to war. So water is water. So I just drink it.
Yeah.
What I did was I went to the.
That's facts.
Facts
Like,
right
I need
there.
to survive, so I'm drinking the water.
Because the water that, like, even normal water that sits in your water pack, it comes out tastes weird. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
what I did was
Bro, you're sharing water anyways with people.
Yeah, but that's different. So what I did is I went and bought water, right? And when I bought the water, I asked the guy that was selling the water to give me ice. And I had him fill my pouch with ice, and then I filled the water in after.
So that's a good tip too. Tip your bartenders. And they can get you ice. Just put a nice little tip.
And if they tell you, oh no, we don't give ice, just go to a different guy and ask for ice.
Try again.
Yeah.
So big controversy on water. Everyone says it's like tastes like dirt, but for me, water was water. It's like how Christine said, war zone.
Yeah, you need to survive EDC.
I bought 2 water bottles and I filled my pack up. I couldn't. I just couldn't.
So we have each one of us have like a pack from. I think I bought mine from Lunchbox. So we have this 2-liter inside here. So different packs have different types of layouts on packs. Whichever one suits your needs is the one that you get.
Yeah,
There's decorated ones
honestly,
too.
like just have one. I know you can get one from Amazon or even Walmart, but
Yeah.
like if you're gonna go to multiple festivals, try to invest in one that's like more functional.
That's like at least $70-$80
So-
at least.
Yeah.
So like I have a camel. Like I know the Lunchbox are more rave oriented.
Yeah.
How
I
much
actually-
are the Lunchbox?
I actually have a Camelback,
They're not
which
that
is like
bad,
more for
actually.
hiking.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a Camelback, and this was when I was like a broke teenage girl, and I got a secondhand Camelback. And then
that sounds nasty.
That's actually sounds nice.
currently I have an MEC one. When they go on sale, they're pretty good. And now they have like Sanrio decorated
MEC,
ones.
Mech.
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 Yeah, so when you go to the Mech has pretty good hydro packs that you
Yeah.
can buy.
But I stopped using them for the past 2 years because I turned into one of those girlies that realized a lot of guys carry water packs and I don't have to carry.
Oh
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
true.
Can I have
Yeah.
a sip, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The communal water.
Because it doesn't
Communal water.
it doesn't look nice.
It
with
doesn't
our
fit the
fits.
aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't have to carry one, I wouldn't carry it either. But I
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I carried a Camelback / MEC bag or lunchbox, whatever, for 8 years. And then I finally learned that I could be one of those girlies.
You're not the only one.
You're not wrong.
But once again, as a rave family, everyone's looking out for each
Yeah.
other. I do it all
Yeah.
the time. I'm like, if I know a friend of mine is doing that, and
Yeah.
I'll just every now and then I'll be like, and they'll always
Yeah,
take it
yeah.
too every time.
Like,
They'll
in-
never say no.
In return, you could provide gum, wipes, like, like pay it forward. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Or a kiss on the cheek. All right, just joking. No, just joking. So,
I've not done that.
for Lunchbox, back to the topic, like they are kind of rave specific. They kind of market themselves as like hiking bag and also like a snowboarding bag, but they have this little hoops here on the side here. We can actually run through light wires, just like how Jason has it on his bag.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
lights
Yeah.
up, which is
Yours
pretty
power
cool.
On? Does
Yeah.
it power on?
Yeah, power's on. You probably can't see it here because of the lights.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But at EDC, it's also good for people to find you,
And
especially
yes,
if you're
yeah.
trying to like Asian train into a crowd.
Yeah.
And you just keep this in the first person, just follow the lights.
I actually bought this like neon light Hello Kitty thing a few years ago off some website, like multiple years ago. I still haven't put it on, so I might like do that. 'Cause-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's actually very clutch. If you have the money to spend, if you're going to a lot of festivals, I just bought mine. I'm slowly making customizations on it. I bought this little pack alpaca pouch to put it on so that I don't have any things in my pocket because EDC and all these big festivals are known to have like pickpockets. So the more things that you can secure with like clutch loops, do you mind showing do you have clutch loops?
Yeah, these are items to bring, guys. So
Yeah.
We'll put the links in the description.
Yeah. So I keep my clutch loop tied to the left side of my Camelback here. And basically what happens is I put that little tag into my phone case and then I squeeze the phone into this little pouch on my bag. So that way I know that it's always right in front of me
Yeah.
and I feel a lot more secure just keeping my phone there.
and you want to get ones like these with the
metal.
with the metal tether.
Because they can't cut it.
It's much harder to
Yeah.
cut. As I said, a lot of times EDC is looking just for weapons, so
Yeah.
pliers and stuff. Just once again, this is your best bet to protect it, but just be aware of where your phone is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
you still
Because you
have to
never
be
know.
aware and safe. And at the end of the
not
day,
100%. Yeah.
It's not 100%.
nothing will be 100%. And if someone's out to steal your phone, they're gonna do it.
The
But
more
this
intricate-
alleviates a
yeah.
lot of it.
The more intricate your security system is, the better it is for you because it's also more intricate for the pickpocketers to get it. So just we're going to touch up upon like stuff to bring into EDC. Like kind of want to prepare a little bit into what you want to bring inside a festival. Usually for guys who has the camo bag, kind of look like they are going for a proper war zone. They have like gears everywhere and everything. But we have like affiliate programs and whatnot. So one of our affiliate programs is actually Sound earplugs. So we have this one here. This is the pink one, and this is the gold one. We are doing a plan. Oh, sorry.
We're planning to do a giveaway for the gold one soon.
We're planning to do a giveaway on the gold one. So what's inside this pack? We're gonna do this opening here for this pink one. Unboxing. So this nice little packaging and this little matte finish. So when it says here noise reduction rating is 19 decibels, which is pretty optimal. You want to have like between
19 or 21 is essentially what it is.
18 to 22. Or like,
so the Sound ones don't have I know Loop is another popular brand. The Sound ones don't have a setting. It's just put in your
it's filtered, right?
Yeah.
So it's nice here. They have the little zip closure and closure. Inside we have a bunch of we have an additional casing, replacement packages, and we have this little cool case.
Pink.
Nice little
nice
pink
case.
Nice pink case.
And little pink case with this keyhole attached to it, which you can attach to your carabiner and put it on your pack. So opening it up, there's also another Ziploc bag with
the actual earplugs.
The actual earplugs with the filter that matches your case color. So the gold one is the gold one, and then the lavender one is lavender one. But we're not going to open those. We're going to do a gold giveaway, which is the one that I'm going to show it right here.
So if you're a regular raver or concert goer, I usually just hook it up onto my keys, so you always have it. So
you can also get a lanyard, like I have a Sound lanyard. So as what Yikern showed with the case, you can clip it onto the end of this.
If you guys don't win the giveaway, we actually have 10% off on our. I believe it's 10% off on our link. Yeah.
And then you can just have it around your neck or put it in your bag, so at least it's safe.
Yeah, so this affiliate program, we will put the link in the description. And also we have a Amazon one. So we're going to display a little bit of what we usually bring into festivals that you can actually order. One of the main key point is sunglasses. You can order them. You can have the diffraction glasses where it kind of looks cool on your face, and whatever you see through it diffracts the light.
Now everyone's in style.
Make sure you come to the YouTube video.
So Christine is wearing one, and then even though Jason is wearing one that looks like a normal sunglasses, but once you see through, you can see stars.
Or just normal shades.
And
normal shades.
There's heart ones.
There are heart ones, there are stars ones, and there are like what?
There's smiley face ones too. There's a lot of different.
It's about making it your own style.
Yeah. Just making it like a little bit different experience for you. Some people like it, some people don't like it.
Even though it's on night, once again, it's lasers, everything, right?
Yeah.
It's just nice to have shades just in case, especially. But also another thing is when the sun rises in the morning, you'd want those shades.
Yeah. My best tip for that after the festival and making it to the shuttle is having sunglasses, because the sun's gonna be beating in your eyes.
And you're already tired as is.
Yeah.
And you can actually have a shut eye with your shades on, and nobody knows that you're sleeping.
Yeah. Another one is fans.
Fans is a big thing.
It's very. You'll see it a lot at EDC.
Please do not clack. Thank you.
Yeah, we do not clack the fans. So fans, we have funny messages on it. So if you can find a funny message on fans, it's always encouraged. We'll put those in our affiliate links. Fans are a key clutch. I've made a lot of friends using fans, fanning them and whatnot, and even handing fan just to another person to try it out, and then we just start talking. It's like, oh yeah, I got this from Amazon, blah blah blah, and then what's your name, what's your IG, and then boom, you have someone that's following you, right?
And people really appreciate it, because no matter where you are, it's gonna be super hot, whether you're in the crowd, outside the crowd. So especially
if you're dancing to like bass, when you're railing those the rails and hit banging, you will sweat. And hard techno, you are jumping pretty much all the time, all the beats. Rip to those knees. Drum and bass too. You will sweat. we say a lot because we want to wrap all your important stuff in a Ziploc bag because you will sweat and you want to waterproof some of your important belongings. So we talked about hydro plugs, hydro bags.
So I will say with the fans, the larger they are, the more strain on the wrist. Don't underestimate the.
You have to train your arm now.
You have to train your arm now.
Honestly, that's one reason why I don't like carrying a fan. Is because every now and then I'm just I don't mind fanning our group, but I don't want to hold the fan.
I don't want to be obligated to be the fan guy the whole night, but I still want to bring it.
Try to get ones that are not made of wood. Yeah, because they're harsher.
Eventually they will give out, and you will have to get new ones, but that's the way it is.
Or there's also a lot of North American fans are this size, like they're pretty big. But you can get solo. You can get solo little fans too if you just want.
Have you ever tried the small ones that you can
the neck ones?
The neck ones.
They don't allow it to bring because it's a solid hard thing.
I'm not sure. But
are you allowed to bring misters in the EDC? I totally forget.
Electric fans, like mini electric fans.
Mini electric fans.
It depends on the security guard, right?
Yeah, just go to the next one.
Just go to the next one. Right? Until you exhaust all your options, just throw it away.
Yeah.
Another item which I know a lot of us love and the community loves is just
the Vicks Vapor Rub.
The it's like a Vicks Vapor Rub. So
the blue ones you can get from Shoppers Drug Mart. And then if you've seen an actual veteran raver, they have this colored poison. You can only get them from Thailand.
Here's the actual case as well, in its case.
And then a rule of thumb, you could actually
there are two settings. One goes up your nose. And then the other one is actually a essential oil that you can put around your
temples,
under your nose and the back of your neck and underneath your chin.
And then for these and the Vicks, actually, like if you can't get your hands on Poise, the Thai ones, you could get Boom Boom. They last a lot longer. And with these inhalers, there's holes near the bottom. So then you could cover it with your mouth, like put it in your mouth and cover it, the holes, and then you could blow it into people's eyes when they're feeling tired or like they're on like vitamins. You could like just wake them up.
What do you guys find the purpose of these items? Like, how do you guys use them and do they? Because you said they wake you up.
They freshen you up.
Yeah. I always do it before every drop. Before every drop, just to like take a deep breath in because they actually clear your sinuses. So the deeper the breath in you take, the more oxygen goes through around your body, and then when the drop comes, you dance like crazy.
Yeah, it's like second wind, like short second wind, which is really nice.
So in recent years, we also have this one, right?
The Yadoms, which is also another Thailand masterpiece of an invention.
No wonder all these festivals are going to Thailand.
It's another masterpiece of everything.
They have the infrastructure set up.
No. So this good thing about these things are like they are very hygienic. So it's like a case where you don't put it up your nose, right? Because our nose have natural nose hairs that filters out air. When you put up the Vicks, it bypasses that thing. So you don't really want to breathe in those things. Whereas this one you can just put near the nose and it just gives you a massive second wind.
So it's like herbs, for people listening, herbs in a mesh.
Yeah, herbs in
a container, and then you just pop off the lid.
Yeah, but the only tough thing is trying to explain to the security guard that this is an inhaler and not a pouch of vitamins. Yeah. So,
but once again, just go to another line.
So usually with these inhalers, I usually just get multiple of them. So the first day, if they throw it out, then I try again, maybe.
Or just
bring a couple.
Yeah, so for the inhalers, what I do, the Vicks one, I'll plug one nose and I'll smell it.
Yeah, that's a good way.
And then move to the other nose.
Oh, I'm a double fister, so I usually have two.
Two at a time?
Two at a time. You want to share us a picture of that?
Oh, I actually do have a photo.
So, and candy culture is huge. We talk about Plur in EDC. So we are all wearing candies. I don't have my full candies. We talked about it in episode 2 or 3.
Yeah, one of the Plur episodes.
Yeah, so one of the Plur episodes, your left hand is the one that you want to keep it to yourself.
your chosen hand.
Yeah, chosen hand, and then your right hand is the one that you want to do your trading in.
We've also demonstrated how to do the trading aspect too.
Yeah.
So take a look at our short on that.
And then we have Perlis. So these are custom made. Where you
now
have
can we talk about 7 Lions?
yeah, you guys can talk about
2 hours for this.
So 7 Lions is in the lineup.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure we're all excited.
Yeah. Where do you think he's gonna play?
He is playing
Circuit
Grounds.
Oh,
Circuit
I
ground.
hope he closes.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm really excited for this because I haven't seen 7 Lions at Circuit Grounds yet. The first time I saw him at EDC was at Kinetic Field, and then ever since he's been at Kinetic Field.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really
Now he's gonna
pumped.
bring the visuals into it.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna stand in Circuit Grounds?
Oh, I don't know. We'll see where the journey
We'll
takes
see
me.
where- we'll see
We'll
where
see
the
where the
night
journey
is.
takes me.
Seasoned ravers mostly won't go to the front anymore, so it's just
Yeah, it's
whatever.
always usually the
Yeah.
middle to back is where the best sounding is.
Yeah.
But yeah, just on the perler, Jason's wearing a 7 Lions perler. If you guys
Yeah.
can see it, It's
Well,
really
so
nice.
what's the story behind this?
Yeah, so this one's really cool. Actually, I got this at my first EDC from someone. They gifted it to me.
Wow.
It was during 7 Lions set at Kinetic Field. And it wasn't anything crazy. I just saw this group of people. These girls were wearing 7 Lions jerseys, and I just said, hey, like, love those jerseys. Like, I should get one too. And that was kind of before I was like a huge 7 Lions fan. And she basically said, oh, I've been waiting for someone to say that to me. Here, like, let's trade.
Oh,
So,
did you
kept it
do the
since.
special candy trading for like perlers where you actually do 2 hands instead of 1?
Wait, what?
So like for I've seen videos where when they do perlers for the for exchange, they do 2 hands. They do this, and then when they hold the hand, and then you touch the head,
Yeah. We touched the head.
and then you touch the head, and then you
Yeah.
you change the things over. So you did do that.
Yeah.
But not the 2 hands.
The hands thing, I don't remember. But the head thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
Actually, so I'm wearing a mushroom perler. I actually got this at EDC too, from a random.
The EDC is a place to get
Merch.
Yeah,
It's
I
trendy.
got a really
Yeah.
cute Pikachu bracelet perler.
So for anyone going to try to get your friends to do our group's doing it. We're doing a little what is it? Candy day.
Making session.
Yeah.
Candy making session. We're all just hanging out
we'll
making
actually
candy.
throw something in the description if you want to buy like
Yeah,
Yeah.
like where to
kit
buy.
or
Yeah.
a candy kit.
And also making perlers and candies take a long time. So
Yep.
schedule the full
Start
day.
doing it now.
Actually, Yikern's strategy is pretty smart. So what he does is he gets Ziploc bags and he labels each Ziploc bag as a letter.
Yeah.
So he'll go before, he'll pick them out and slowly put them in separate
I have
bags.
a case.
Yeah.
So like
Oh,
they're,
okay.
they're
You get-
plastic
oh,
cases.
okay.
They're like the vitamin cases, but they're for like beads, right? When you buy them
And you can
online
get the
now,
kits too.
yeah,
Yeah,
they,
like
it
that.
comes with it. So if you like come on our YouTube page, you can see this one. This is an X.
That's
cuff.
very well
3D X
mastered craft.
It took like 3 hours to make, but when I first started making these, they took like 5 hours. And the perlers, the size of Jason's, it's probably like 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a long time because you want
Yeah.
to add those little things, and you don't want to make those mistakes, right? If let's say the temperature of the iron goes wrong, and you just have to start the whole thing over.
Yeah.
Do you guys have
Yeah.
any tips for tying the candy?
There's multiple knots, and you have to.
Oh.
I usually go with the fish. What do you call it? Fish elastics that are 0.8 mm, because 0.5 is too thin, and then 1 mm is like too thick. So yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have,
so
we'll have a little segment
yeah.
probably to go through this.
I usually tie 3 knots. The
Mm-hmm.
first 2 knots is super tight, tighter than the 3rd knot. That's how I make sure that they stay intact, because it happened way too many times where I tie
And then
the
you
thing
all
and then I
drop.
just try to pull it
Yeah,
up.
I've
and
traded
everything
candy.
just
Exactly. I've traded before and it's exploded
Yeah,
while
I know,
trading.
yeah.
Even just a simple like one line one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we all have the 1-line ones. There's the most common one. EDC is pretty famous for it. Lost Lands is big on it too.
A lot of North American. It's a North American
Yeah,
thing,
it's
so
a
you'll
North
see it at a lot of the North American festivals.
Mhm.
But EDC is pretty much what we call home to candy culture.
Yeah.
EDC represents Plur vibes. It's carnival. Everyone's
Because it was in LA, from LA. It was like the Californian.
once again, you're gonna get a lot of people who maybe not express Plur vibes, but if you're going, just be the nicest person you can.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's essentially anywhere you go. But
I
yeah,
would say EDC changed me in a way. And like you go through a marathon, it's like after the war zone, you just have like, I'm
But
ready
it
for the
is
next
your
one.
first big festival.
It's
so
also like your first big
it's
festival.
the first. Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people for North America, Ultra Miami, and EDC are the two big festivals.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you might have other life-changing festivals.
Yeah, but then that's one of the big ones. The first one that you want to go
Tomorrow
to is on your list. Like
Yeah.
you don't want to go to like Ultra Miami or Lost Land as your first one, right?
Yeah,
A
it's
lot of
a
people do for Lost Lands.
Yeah.
I would say I know a lot of people do, and it's become one of the premier ones
I
of
think
North.
EDC has just become the name. Like it's
Yeah.
just,
Like if you're an
It's iconic. Like
Yeah.
images
Yeah.
at like it's like Bayfront, Ultra Miami Bayfront images. EDC, when you just see the screenshot of like the racetrack
Yeah,
from
that's the
afar.
carnival.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
the carnival vibe. That is.
It's like the mecca of North American ravers. You just have to go attend
Yeah.
once,
Um,
even
so
though it costs $3,000. But yeah,
other than other than Seven Lions, who are you guys excited to see? Jason, I guess.
Yeah, I really want to see Eli Brown B2B Hilo.
The
yeah.
Ultra Miami set that was released was pure fire.
I missed
Yeah.
them at Izu for Johnson Madamdala, and then I missed them at Ultra because I couldn't get through that that barrier at the back. So that's definitely one I want to
Yeah.
see. But any other ones? Or?
I also want to see LS Dream. That's more for like wubs.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think there's a
yeah.
lot
He's at Cosmic Metal
Cosmic
too,
Metal,
which
yeah.
will be really cool
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
if
because
you're in
it's
the bleachers.
spread out, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
What
For-
about you, Christine?
For me, I want to see Sarah Laundry again.
She changed your life,
she's
eh?
hooked.
She can step on
She's
me.
hooked.
Yeah. But gotta be careful about the crowd apparently. So, other than that, I think I've said this before. I've seen most artists just like roaming around, and I'm just a little like. Hopefully, I don't get too stressed because you're like. There's people in the group that always want to do different things, and then there's always like last minute changes. So then like I should be more relaxed about it, but like I feel like I probably will do a lot more solo stuff because I actually want this EDC to be my way. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the main thing. That I've had that attitude since the beginning. Although I've been more set focused, which is something I'm trying not to be this year. For me, the worship back to back on the Saturday closing, it will be really cool. Even though we just saw them, just them doing a back to back should be pretty fire. There's artists. EDC is also good for artists you haven't seen before, like DJ Heartstrings. I want to see DJ Heartstrings.
Yeah, DJ Heartstrings is gonna be good.
And then on the final day that we talked about earlier, the Prida set, because it's super rare. I've just never, like, he doesn't do a Prida set
Yeah.
solo, so I just
And
want
he's tried to come to Toronto like twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Both have been canceled,
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah.
He's coming back for belt, so
Yeah, it's kind of felt. For me, I'm excited for Couch EDC because I'm not going.
They do have a live stream this
They
year.
do have a live stream this year, so whatever they throw at you is what I see.
So whatever mishaps happen, he'll be laughing from the couch.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys are cold. Ha 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 ha.
So just a quick touch up on like what Christine said, that it is her EDC. So like
At the end of the poster.
yeah, I know. The main thing is you, right?
yeah,
But
yeah, the
like-
headliner is you.
the main headliner is you. EDC is something where you want to explore. So I would suggest, like, if you are going with a bunch of friends, the smaller group, the better. Because you don't get lost easily. You don't spend so much time gathering in a spot just to go to a set. You waste a lot of time, like 30 minutes, just to gather around, make sure everyone has their water, make sure everyone has their bathroom breaks before going in. The smaller the group, the better. It's easier for you. It's easier mobility, and there's also a bunch of groups. If you are going alone and you want to join groups, there's a bunch of like Facebook groups, Radiate groups.
It is a good festival to go
It's a-
solo to as
it's a
well.
good-
It is pricey if you go solo, but
Yeah.
for a unique experience, as what we just talked about, you're solo anyways. If you go to a lot of sets, you'll meet friendly people
I
Yeah.
think
everywhere you go.
it's for festivals and especially EDC, you're bound to get into schedule conflicts with your friends. So you have
Yeah.
to be okay with like just walking away yourself as long as you guys have set meet up spots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Meetup spots are key. Set a time frame where you want to meet up at the exact point. The smaller the group, the better. And if you need to branch out, do it. Like don't let that stop you.
You are the headliner.
You
Yeah,
are the
don't be
headliner,
afraid.
yeah.
Again, it's not dangerous as long as you're aware of like pickpocketers.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Just
And
be
if
aware
people-
of your surroundings.
Be aware of your surrounding. Be more vigilant when people try to approach you to ask for your number. You just
And-
say, "I'm not from here. I don't have an American number." Good to go.
And if you're not sober, don't walk off.
yeah.
Yeah. Have a buddy at least.
So that kind of concludes
Longer episode, but a lot of
longer
details
episode.
in
I
there.
feel like
A
we
lot
should
of
chop
details.
into.
Yeah. A lot of details regarding EDC because it's the big festival. We will link all our links, products, and the affiliate links in the description below. To catch us on the video side because there's a lot of visuals. We tried our best to explain as much as we can. And that's it. We'll see you guys next time.
Plur, bye.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
See you next
Bye-bye.
week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.